She'll be in studio, break it all down. I guess there's some Jaguars preseason game that she's going to be very distracted by. We will try to get her away from that. We will get her away from Jaguar land and into Boston sports land. That'll be a good thing. It'll be good for you. It'll be good for her. It'll be good for me. It's good for this goose is good for the gander. That's the way it works. So we've got that coming your way. Typical Joe's show stuff. Got in or out. We'll do a McCarthy and Middleton musings all the way until 11 o'clock. And whatever you want tonight at 617-779-0985. Red Sox in action. We can continue to take your thoughts on that, but a good opportunity to get back into the Patriots. Or is it? Very simple question that I want to start the show out with tonight, and we'll get to your thoughts on it as well. What's your interest level in the Patriots? Serious question. I'm curious to get your temperature on this. What is your interest level with the Patriots? Jim Murray asked me a question earlier on this week, and you would have thought that my answer, it just completely shocked and appalled him. He asked me, as part of the 10 questions with Greg Bedard, he said, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for football season? And I said, I don't know, 3, 4, somewhere in there. The look on Murray's face and Bedard's face, you would have thought I pledged allegiance to the Taliban by saying my interest level in the football season was 3 or 4. It's like, oh my God, McCarthy, how can you not be excited for football season? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with the Patriots? Do I have a reason to be excited? Do you have a reason to be excited? No, I've just been around the station this week, talking Patriots, and it doesn't feel to me like there's a lot of buzz for this team entering this year. And I understand it. I get it. Why would there be buzz? Why would there be excitement? Have the Patriots given you and me and everyone else a reason to be excited about this football season? I don't think this is an unreasonable opinion. I don't blame you if you're like me and you're kind of apathetic about it all. That's kind of what I feel about the Patriots right now. Apathy. Can you really get behind the idea of Jacoby Brissett? Can you really get behind the idea of Gerard Mayo? Elliott Wolf, and maybe even the Kraft's involvement in all of this right now. Can you really get behind it? After what we've lived through and what we've experienced as Patriots fans, can you really get behind this? Of course you can't. Let's be real about this. Let's be adults about this. Let's stop pretending that this is compelling. It's not. Which, by the way, is a great way to start a radio program. I know what the hell I'm doing. Hey, this topic that we're about to talk about, not compelling. Why would you be interested? You should turn your radios off right now. You idiot, McCarthy. But seriously, this is how I feel about this. This is how I feel about the Patriots. They are in purgatory. They're in purgatory. Can we just call it what it is? Do I need to come in here and pretend like this is all that interesting? They're in complete purgatory with a fake quarterback competition, and everybody sees through it. And that, by the way, doesn't necessarily mean it's the wrong thing. I think it's the right thing. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with Jacoby Brissett for the meantime. Chris Gasper calls him the QB crash test dummy, which is a great line. Yep, I agree. And I'm on board. I'm totally fine with it. I'm fine with the long game for Drake May. It is the responsible thing to do. Most of us know that. Even us idiots on sports talk radio, most of us understand that. It's the responsible thing to do. You are better off being late than early on Drake May. You have everything to lose by being early with May and messing him up. You have everything to lose if you go to him too soon. You don't really have all that much to lose if you wait a little bit longer than you probably should. Except fan interest. Fan interest in the short term. Which is where, to me, this thing really gets interesting. And I can sense it happening already. I can sense us, like us, not the collective us, 98.5 the Sports Hub, us, the media, us, the talk show hosts, getting antsy with this. Oh my God, why did Drake May not play more in preseason game number 1? Have you heard that for the last week? Have you heard that for the last 2 weeks? Oh, boy, they really mismanaged this thing. How could they possibly not play Drake May more in game number 1? You know why, guys? Because game 1 doesn't matter. Preseason games don't matter. They're taking it slow with the guy. Kind of panicky takes, if you ask me. Panicky opinions from us, the Sports Talk Radio people. We want him now because we want something to talk about now because we understand that Jacoby Brissett is Patriots purgatory. That's what it is. It's boring. It's bad for business. But it's good for the Patriots. And as a Patriots fan, I'm willing to sacrifice that. As a Sports Talk Radio host, I hate it. Jacoby Brissett, boring. Bad for business. Good for the Patriots. I think I can handle it. I can handle waiting for this thing. Can you? I'm actually okay with being bored by the Patriots. Can we, though, handle that? And I'm not just talking about Sports Talk Radio. Can we, fans in this town, are you okay with the purgatory that the Patriots are in right now? 617-779-0985. Are you okay with it? And to me, it's almost like you have to be okay with it. Because if you want there to be a future, if you want there to be a future for the Patriots and for Drake May, you have to be slow with it. You have to take your time. You can't rush him into it. We saw that with Mac Jones. You set him up to fail. Ultimately, he failed. Now, Mac Jones was probably going to fail anyway because he didn't have the makeup, probably didn't have the arm strength, you name it. But you put him in a bad spot in year 2 and year 3, and he failed. If you put Drake May out there right now, he would fail. Behind an offensive line with Vidarian Lowe and Chooks Okorafor, some guy named Chooks is protecting your entire future. How do you feel about that? Some bum named Chooks. I'm okay with the patience. I'm okay with them approaching this slowly. We can't handle it. The Sports Talk Radio world can't handle it. Oh my God, how could you not play him in week 1? You know why, guys? This is what they're doing. This is how I see it. And maybe I'm being naive, and you let me know at 617-779-0985. They are so terrified of putting him out there because they know he's so far away and they know he's a project that they put him out there essentially to hand the ball off for 6 snaps in game 1. Then they gave him a very dumbed-down version of the offense in game 2. And now they've started to let him get in there with the ones. They're not really letting him throw with the ones, but they're letting him take a couple of snaps from David Andrews. Don't you see how slow this process is? It's slow, it's methodical, and it's planned this way. And people are treating it like the Patriots have no idea what they're doing. I actually think they do have an idea what they're doing. I just think they're being so overcautious and so careful with the guy that they want it to be one step at a time and to take those steps at a snail's pace. I mean, it is slothy. Everything going on down there is slothy. The pace of the offense in training camp, the way they're trying to develop Drake May, 6 snaps in game 1, then you really dumb down the offense for him in game 2, where, he gets out there and he looks good, but he's basically running about 5 different plays. And now they're finally letting him get snaps in practice with the ones. They're not even going to let him screw it up because they're basically not going to let the guy throw. That's how slowly they're taking this thing. And I'm okay with it. I'm all right with it. I can handle a purgatory for a little while. I can handle 8 weeks of this. I might even be able to handle a season of this if you're telling me that this is the best way to get Drake May up and running. And I tend to believe it is. Because you took, of the quarterbacks taken in the first round, Drake May, to me, is the biggest project. He might have the highest ceiling, or, well, not the highest ceiling, not as high as Caleb Williams, but maybe the second highest ceiling of any of those quarterbacks. Maybe the third, depending on Jaden Daniels. But certainly Bo Nix is ready to go. Certainly J.J. McCarthy was more ready to go than Drake May. Michael Penix is more ready to go than Drake May. So you want to slow play it for a year? Fine by me. You'll be bored out of your minds. Everybody will be losing their minds here. I'm fine with being bored. I don't mind devoting a little bit of my attention to the Celtics and the Bruins in the fall. Hopefully I have some Red Sox games to watch in October. I'm okay with it. I know we're not okay with it here. This is a bad advertisement for our business. Like, the Patriots will be boring. Who cares? Not the way you want to approach things as a Sports Talk Radio host. I'm approaching it as a fan tonight. And I want to know how you feel about it. 617-779-0985. Couple open phone lines. Grab it. Alex Van Pelt has caught a lot of crap too. I don't think it's necessarily deserved. I think we're missing the big picture on Alex Van Pelt. This is a very big picture program here tonight. You're missing the big picture stuff on Alex Van Pelt. We'll do that next. It's McCarthy in for Joe Murray here on the Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. Everybody knows Joe.
Just keeps getting better.
Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
I want to just, before we get off Alex Van Pelt and get on to the game that we're going to talk about, is make this observation. You might be pissed off about Alex Van Pelt, but you got to take your hat off to the fact that the guy is probably the key component of the development of the quarterback right now. And I got no dog in the fight with Alex Van Pelt, although I do think that it is important to have an experienced 50-plus coordinator in a group of first-time coordinators. Now, is he experienced in terms of being a play caller, offensive coordinator, soup to nuts? No, he's never had the opportunity to do that, except once. He was the offensive coordinator and play caller for the Cleveland Browns in 2020 when they had a playoff game against Pittsburgh. Kevin Stefanski had the vid. What happened? The Browns, with Alex Van Pelt calling the play, scored 48 points. They were up 28-0 on Pittsburgh. I'm not saying that's about to happen. I'm just saying the guy probably is not the boob that he is continually made out to be.
I agree, Tommy. Tommy Curran on the Patriots Talk podcast. We're really making Alex Van Pelt out to be a boob, aren't we? It's been a huge part of the discussion. Last couple of days, it's been a lot of Alex Van Pelt is a boob segments on these radio airwaves. Haven't there been, Skaz?
There have been, Matt, and I think I'm kind of with you on this one.
So it was, again, like yesterday, I was on Felger and Maz, and I said, guys, hold on, wait a minute. Alex Van Pelt has spent 20 years working with quarterbacks. 20 years developing quarterbacks, coaching quarterbacks. You drafted a quarterback who is an obvious project. I'm not saying he's going to be good or bad. I don't know. But doesn't this profile kind of fit actually what you want?
And to go along with all that, he also was an NFL quarterback.
Correct.
Like he's done it.
Shouted down. No, he's a bad coach. No, you can't. No, we want some 30-year-old guy with this innovative scheme and system. I'm like, guys, it's not about scheme and system yet with Drake May. He can't even figure out how to get in a huddle. If you asked Drake May to go under center, would he be able to find the center or would he line up under the guard? Like that's the type of project this kid was coming out of college. And they hired a guy who played quarterback in the NFL and has coached quarterbacks in this league for 20 years. Is he inspiring? No. Is his system revolutionary? No. Is he boring? Yes. You know who's going to be boring this year? The New England Patriots.
But you know what else Alex Van Pelt is? He's an offensive coordinator. The Patriots haven't had that. Right. We had Matt Patricia. We had, the reruns of Josh McDaniels and Bill O'Brien that weren't working. So Joe asked me this question. It was either last night or a couple nights ago. He said, do you think the Patriots are a better team this year than last year? Because he's not convinced they are. And I said, well, they have a better quarterback, so automatically I would say, yes, they are.
Thank you, Skaz.
But
yes.
They also have, I think, better offensive coaching just in general. However you feel about Bill O'Brien, it wasn't working here. What he was doing with Mac Jones and, Zappy, like all that stuff, like it just, whatever Bill O'Brien's system was, these guys weren't buying into it. So I'm in the camp that Alex Van Pelt is competent. And I know that's a low bar, but guess what? That's the bar the Patriots have right now. And just be competent, because at times last year, they were far from competent offensively.
It's not about results in 2024. Like, we need to wrap our heads around this. It's not about results. I don't know if Alex Van Pelt can call plays. This has been the biggest knock on Alex Van Pelt. Can he call plays? He's basically never been a play caller before, even though he's been an offensive coordinator. I have no idea. And you know what? In the grand scheme of things, I don't care. I don't care if he can call plays. It's not about winning games in 2024. The most important thing you must do is develop Drake May. I'm not going to sit here and guarantee that Alex Van Pelt's going to develop Drake May, but he's worked with quarterbacks before. That's the most important thing. I don't care if he knows how to work a headset. Like, if he can't figure out how to call a play in 40 seconds, I've already lived that before. That was Matt Patricia. What difference is it going to make? Your team sucks. You're not going anywhere near the playoffs. It's all about developing the quarterback. It's about developing Drake May. And yes, is he inspiring? No. Is he boring? Yes. But you know who's uninspiring and boring? The Patriots. And we're better off just accepting that in the interim. Oh, well, why aren't they doing enough to get Drake May ready? because he's not ready and he's not anywhere close to ready. Well, why did he only play 6 snaps in the preseason game? Because he's not ready. Well, what about the next week? Preseason games don't matter. Don't you get this? Don't you understand this? It's about practice, where they obviously feel Drake May isn't far enough along to basically start throwing with the ones. He's out there taking snaps because, again, he's a college quarterback, doesn't really know how to get under center, so we got to get him out there with David Andrews and teach him that the center snaps the ball to the quarterback and doesn't launch it through the air towards the quarterback, that you go hand to hand. You put your hand under the center's ass and you grab the football. That's what you do. We need to teach him that. We don't need some 30-year-old kid with the world's best scheme out there to teach Drake May how to do that. That kid doesn't know how to do that. He's drawing up plays in Madden. I'm okay with the fact that you got the uninspiring, retread old guy to be your offensive coordinator. It's not about winning games. It's about developing the quarterback. And I'm fine that they got a quarterback who's coached quarterbacks and has for the last 20 years to coach the quarterback. Not to draw up the best play for the quarterback, but to coach him. I don't think it's a revolutionary take. But again, yesterday when I said that on Felger and Maz, it was like I announced my allegiance with the Taliban. Like, McCarthy, how could you do that? I don't know. I just don't feel like this guy sucks. We keep saying this guy sucks. Why does he suck? I don't understand. 617-779-0985. How about Adam and Rozzy to lead things off? Adam.
What's up, McCarthy? I agree with you guys. Seriously, like we've had 20 years of just like the most amazing NFL player ever, and yes, it's been a longer than we would hope for rebound, but from what we saw with Cam Newton into Mac Jones, like if we're gonna wait a little bit, it's like oh my God, do we have to have like a championship in our city every other year, or can we just kind of wait to see what we can get out of the talent we have, like without just like nitpicking every second? And I don't know. Sorry, I'm
no. And listen, Adam. That is our job, and it's our job to nitpick everything, and it's our job to have a take on everything. And my take is tonight. Yeah, the Patriots are boring. Yeah, the Patriots suck, and I'm okay with that in the moment. I'm not going to demand that Drake May plays just to entertain me. I'm not going to demand that Drake May plays more than 6 preseason snaps in game 1. You know why? Because I'm not expecting to be entertained by preseason game number 1 in the first place. Not a chance. Now, am I okay with the fact that the Patriots suck? No. Am I okay with the fact that the Patriots have been, a dumpster fire for the last 5 years and it's getting worse and worse and worse? No. But I do understand that the entire future of the franchise is dependent on whether or not Drake May can play. That's it. At least I hate the spot you're in. I hate it. Can't stand it. But this is the spot you're in. This is what you've been dealt with. So yeah, take your time with the kid. 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever it is. Once he learns how to run a huddle and go under center, now step 2, let's have him start passing the ball. That's how far away this kid was when you took him. I can accept that. Doesn't mean I like the fact that you suck so badly that you had the 3rd overall pick. Doesn't mean I like the fact that you had no plan after Tom Brady. Doesn't mean I like the fact that it went from Cam Newton to Mac Jones and Bill Belichick presided over, the death of the franchise. And, the Crafts haven't done a good enough job over the last 5 years. I hate all of that. But sitting here tonight, knowing the position that they're in, I can say I'm willing to be patient. I'm willing to accept the purgatory that they're in right now, and I'm willing to admit, yeah, they're kind of not interesting, and they won't be interesting until Drake May starts playing. That's fine. I hope that day comes sooner rather than later. I know it probably won't, and I'm okay with that. Are you? Gabe in West Roxbury. Gabe.
Hey, man, how you doing?
What's up?
First, I want to, I agree with you. I just, I called up and I started rambling about how, like, at the draft and after the draft that we drafted May and, he's a project and, we were going to get Brissett and we got Van Pelt, which wasn't our first pick, but we got Van Pelt because he worked with Brissett and we knew this year was going to be a kind of like Cleveland Brown running the ball, short pass, hopefully May gets better, behind the scenes and then can take over down, later in the year, hopefully, so he has something going forward next year. I mean, I don't get how people are now. It's because of Gerard Mayo. I'm sorry. Mayo, throwing this out that now it's a competition. What are you talking about? You said Brissett was the starting quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're doing that for PR purposes. Drake May is good for business. Jacoby Brissett is bad for business. That's the way it is. We all know what Jacoby Brissett is. So, putting out there the hope, oh, no, it's a competition. Yeah, you're trying to get people to believe in the thing. I mean, Bailey Zappi gets booed preseason game number 1 because they pulled Drake May. The entire existence of the New England Patriots is Drake May. And when will he be here and when will he be ready, to the point where you're booing Bailey Zappi because he simply is not Drake May. Hey, a-hole, you weren't born Drake May. Screw you, get out of my face. That was the message from the fans preseason game number 1, because it's all about May. May, 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 May. Of course that's the way it is. Let's go to Ken in the car. Hey, Ken.
Yeah, hey, Matt. Listen, I agree with you. I think people are jumping to conclusions about Van Pelt, and I also agree with you about taking our time with May. But one thing I don't want to see is let's say Brissett kind of punching above his weight, and all of a sudden we have a 9-8 season, and where he plays out the year, and we end up getting the 12th or the 14th pick. And I know I'm really looking way ahead with that, but I just want to end the season. I want to end this season being hopeful, getting to see enough of May and the receivers, the kids, and some of those offensive linemen too, just to see what we have. And I'm more curious about how the season ends.
Yeah, Ken, if you say the Patriots punch above their weight and win more games than expected with Jacoby Brissett, that's a bad thing? No, that's a good thing. Keep me entertained in the short term. You don't want to be picking 3rd overall in the draft. In some ways you could look at this, this whole, first half hour of the program tonight as me railing against the way things are done in sports talk radio right now in Boston. There is one take that I totally agree with. Mike Felger's take on, you don't want to suck. Sucking is bad. Yep, Ken, sucking is bad. If Jacoby Brissett comes in and outperforms what you expect and outperforms what we all expect, that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. Means you'll be entertained in the short term. It means Drake May, whenever he comes in, will take over a better situation. I believe in building culture. I believe in winning games in the short term, even if it's not necessarily getting you towards your long-term goal, or at least you think it's not. I think it does. I'd rather win 6 games than 5. I'd rather win 4 games than 3. I don't care that the Patriots won that game in Denver last year to cost them Jaden Daniels. You still had a good crack at a quarterback. I would have taken Penix. They took May, who's a project, and now you wait longer, but you still have a chance at it. You still have a chance. I always want to win games. I can't do the Patriots are going to get the 2nd overall pick. I can't do that this year. And, Jacoby Brissett just goes out there and takes a beating and wastes all of our time. That's not going to be good. Not going to be good at all. I can wait for Drake May. I'm fine with that. But I hope you don't waste my time in the process. You might, but losing is not good. We had the caller saying, you want to, they're trying to become the Cleveland Browns. You don't want to become the Cleveland Browns and end up in the top 5 every single year. That's not good. Not good for you at all. 617-779-0985. News from Patriots practice that I do want to get to today. And Kendra Middleton's going to join the program at 8 o'clock tonight. A lot to get to. Phone lines open. It's McCarthy in for Joe Murray.
Sports Hub headlines.
Not a great start for Brian Bayo. Walked in a run. First 4 runners reach base. Somehow the Red Sox only down 2-1 in this game in the 2nd inning right now over at Fenway Park. Tyler O'Neill out of the lineup. His finger is inflamed. His ring finger. Wild card race tonight around baseball. Royals and Phillies at 8:10. Twins and Cardinals at 8:10. Patriots practice today. getting ready for the Commanders on Sunday. Full coverage at 985thesportshub.com. Pro Football Hall of Fame announcing a number of changes to its selection process. Most notably, coaches saw their eligibility period reduced from 5-year to 1. It means that Bill Belichick eligible for the Hall of Fame as soon as next year. Headlines are brought to you by Awaken 180. Get started today with your 20-pound summer slim down. The results are fast, easy, and start your very first week. Awaken180weightloss.com. I'm Matt McCarthy. I'm Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8 o'clock.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5.
Mike at right tackle, Layden at right guard. What did you see from that group, and is that something we're going to, grouping we're going to see as we go on?
I would say, it was encouraging. It was encouraging to see that. And, anytime you can sandwich a rookie between two veteran players, that's always going to be a benefit for the player and also the team. So we're still, trying to figure out that combination, but I feel like we're getting pretty close.
Gerard Mayo on the state of the offensive line. Mike Owenu, this has been kind of the story of practice for the last few days, sliding out to right tackle. Rookie Layden Robinson playing right guard. Vidarian Lowe's hurt, which I guess is a bad thing because he's probably your starting left tackle, but it's Vidarian Lowe. Is that really going to... Is it good to have him out there or bad to have him out there? I'm not convinced of that. It's McCarthy in for Joe Murray tonight. Real quick on the offensive line, which I would generally say save for Bedard, 2 to 4 on Felger and Maz, so he can break it all down. 3 up, 3 down, nothing but offensive linemen. I can't believe it's taken them this long to get to Owenu at right tackle. I know they think he's better at guard. I think he's better at guard. But he's an NFL quality right tackle, and they don't have NFL quality tackles. And if you want to see Drake May sooner rather than later, you got to figure out that offensive line, which I don't think you ever can really figure out in training camp anymore because you're not allowed to have as many padded practices. You don't hit the way you once did. I only did one session of joint practices here where the offensive line got wrecked against the Eagles, so I guess that's not a great sign. But you never really know with these offensive lines. I don't think it's going to be good. I don't think most of us think it's going to be good. But you won't truly find out until the regular season. And that would be one of the many boxes I need to check before I put Drake May in a competitive game for the Patriots. That offensive line needs to be NFL quality. And if it's not there, you can't put the kid in there. You can't get him ruined. You can't get him killed. He will do no good to you dead. Drake May must be in one piece. If he gets snapped in half in week 8, he does no good to you. Sorry. I would like to keep him alive. I would like to see Drake May live. That would be good. I'm rooting for that. Owenu at right tackle is a good thing. Hell, I was saying early in camp I'd put him at left tackle. He's your best guy, but they're not obviously going to do that. He's really only played the right side in his career. Feels like things are okay on the interior. City So's been fine. I'm not counting on Cole Strange giving them anything, but Owenu at right tackle is a good thing. Maybe, just maybe, you feel okay about 4 of your starting 5. But if it's between Vidarian Lowe and Chooks, that doesn't feel great. Doesn't feel great to me. 617-779-0985. Jay in New Hampshire. Jay!
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's up? Jay, can you roll up your window or something? I hear the motorcycles going by you.
Yeah, I'm driving in a truck. Is it too loud?
I got you.
Yeah, so Jacoby Brissett should not start. There is zero. It just shouldn't happen. You need to see what Drake May can do. If you win 7 games with Jacoby and you win 4 games with potentially with Drake May, what's the difference?
What if Drake May is not ready?
How do you know if he hasn't played?
I mean, they're barely letting him work with the number ones. I mean, he can barely figure out how to get in an NFL huddle or get under center. Do you think he's ready?
Oh, that's the coaching staff? Like, how do you know if he's not ready?
Don't you think the coaching staff would know, Jay?
Gerard Mayo, probably not. Actually.
So then he should just send him out there. Why not? It's only the kid's career and the future of the franchise. Yeah. Just send him out there.
This is kind of the Dondero take, isn't it? Just send him out there. Just to see what you've got. I mean, I can't get on board with it. I can't.
Not with this roster.
No. I'm all for pushing players. And if there's a real legitimate criticism of the Patriots, it's that maybe they haven't pushed Drake May enough in this camp. Maybe they don't think he can handle it. Again, this is so raw coming out of UNC. So raw. There's all the talent in the world there with him. That's the whole thing. Like, Drake May is a project quarterback, folks. And I know he was taken with the 3rd overall pick. But this would be a different story if it were J.J. McCarthy or Michael Penix or even Bo Nix. Guys who started a crap ton of games in college. Drake May is 21 years old. He's barely played. So I would feel completely differently. Let's say you did what I wanted the Patriots to do, going back to draft night. I wanted the Patriots to take Michael Penix. I think he throws the best ball. He threw the best ball in the draft. I think he was the best quarterback I saw in college football last year. I loved Michael Penix. If it were Michael Penix, I'd be far more willing to say you should put him out there week one no matter what. Because I actually think he's closer to ready. And like the whole, you don't know if he's ready if you don't try. I get what you're saying with that, but do you really appreciate just how far away this guy is? How many games did Drake May play in college? Is it 20-something? I have to pull this up. The guy's barely played football. Didn't Bill Parcells have an old, like, you need to play 40-something games? Let's pull up these stats here. How many did he play? Why are these college sites so awful? What's the deal with this? How many games has Drake May? Why isn't there just like a college football reference page? Alex Barth, tell me, why isn't there a college football reference page that when I just Google Drake May stats, it doesn't come up? Sports reference, hold on. Drake May played 30 games in college. It's not enough. It's not enough. And how many of these games did he start? One of them was as a freshman. Threw 6 passes his freshman year. Is that right? No, it's rushing. God, these websites are so stupid. I'll find it. Tell you what, I'll find it during the break. Drake May, here we go. 10 passes his freshman year. 10. The guy's essentially played 25 college games. That's it. And you wonder why he's not ready? Did we not all pay attention back in April? Like, Drake May's a project, folks.
Every single draft scout said, this guy's going to have to sit for a little bit.
Yep. And now he's sitting and people can't handle that. So what you really should be doing is calling in. If you've got a problem with Drake May sitting, what you really should be doing is calling in and saying, McCarthy, they got it wrong. They drafted the wrong guy. I want a quarterback to play now. Jacoby Brissett can't start. I can't do this. I can't handle this. They drafted the wrong guy. He screwed up. That's your call, caller. Don't call in and say, why isn't Drake May playing? Dondero, don't do a show and say, why isn't Drake May playing? He's not playing because he's not ready. The real show is the Patriots screwed up and drafted the wrong guy, which I actually do believe. But if you want to have that angle, there you go. You can run with that. The Patriots drafted the wrong guy. He's not ready. Shocker. Drake May's not ready. 617-779-0985. But you're going to see him this weekend. You're going to see him. Does that get you excited for preseason game number 3? We'll get to Gerard Mayo's comments. We'll do that next.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Hey, we're going to play. I mean, if you guys want, look, Jacoby's going to start the game off. Drake will play as well. Joe will play as well. There's a nugget. Boom. You're welcome. Thank you. Now you guys can sleep. Zappy will play. Zappy will play. But hold on, one thing. Sorry, one thing. We do have some players, dealing with small things that probably won't play and get ready for the regular season. Some of our proven players, yeah, there you go. All right. Fantastic. Now you guys can sleep.
It was almost like me defending them. It's like, yeah, nobody cares, but that's okay. What a roundabout way to get there. I mean, guys, you know me. I mean, how many shows have we done together? Do I generally, if we were to, break down the Matt McCarthy experience, am I generally more positive or negative?
I would say it solely depends on the team.
Yeah. I'd say I lean a little bit more negative.
Yeah, I would say, I think, but it's fair. It's just.
That's what I'm here for.
We preach fairness.
Justice is what I provide. Justice in sports talk radio. You can believe in me. It sounds like a campaign slogan. Justice for sports talk radio. Matt McCarthy. They should have the big voice guy do that. He's fair and he's just. Matt McCarthy, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Could do that. Make that happen. But I think I've been pretty positive on the Patriots. So here's one more positive take. One more. Before I'm assuming we'll eventually go back to the dark side eventually. That's just the way it goes. I like that they're going to play guys on Sunday. Maybe this is just me being selfish, knowing I have to watch for my job type of thing. But I'm glad they're going to play Jacoby Brissett. I'm glad they're going to play Drake May. I'm glad that it sounds like they're going to play the majority of their guys. Couple of factors here. One, you don't really have many good players anyway, so what's the risk of them getting hurt? Like, this is not 2016 where I'm wondering why Julian Edelman is playing in Detroit and he tears up his knee, or 17 or whatever that year was. I don't need that. I don't want that. Don't put anybody out there who's worth a damn. How many guys on this team are really worth a damn? Somebody gets hurt, and it sounds horrible. It sounds callous, but as a fan, for years and years and years, you would have said, oh my God, if we lose that guy in the preseason game, it'll feel like the world is ending. I remember I worked pregame and postgame the night that Edelman tore his knee up. It was terrible. It was depressing. It's like, this team has Super Bowl aspirations, and you're losing a guy on bad turf in Detroit in a preseason game. What are we doing? That was terrible. That was awful. Somebody gets hurt, you're going to be like, wow, season's over? Season's already over. It's over before it began. There's the negative take. What does it matter? What does it matter if a guy gets hurt? The season's over. I mean, as horrible as it is to say, if Drake May got hurt on Sunday, you'd be like, well, he should be playing in these games. He's got to develop. What a bad luck, but, it's not like you're saving him for week one. He's not going to play in week one. Get him reps. I'm glad that the Patriots, for the most part, have played more starters in the preseason than their opponents this year. You should. You should send that type of message to your team. Yes, we know preseason games don't matter. Yes, we know that practice is more important than preseason games. I get that. But anything to instill a level of competitiveness in this team, even if it is a worthless preseason game, I'm glad that Jacoby Brissett's going to play. Just a little bit more reps. Like, anything that will give you a potential advantage so you win 5 games instead of 4. I really do believe that. I'm all right with that. I'm okay with that approach. And do I want to see more Drake May than I saw in Game 2? Yeah, of course I do. Do I really want to see Bailey Zappi out there? No, I don't. And by the way, how about Mayo being like, Brissett's going to play, May's going to play, Milton's going to play. And then a couple minutes later, oh yeah, no, and Zappi too. Don't forget about Zappi. I think we can all forget about Zappi. I think we'll be fine with that. Brian in Dracut. Hi, Brian.
Hey, McCarthy. Thanks for taking my call, man. Appreciate it.
No problem, man.
I just want to make sure, just to clarify something, do you think the Patriots made the wrong choice taking May because he's not ready now, or you don't think that he's going to develop into a good player? And what I get at with that is, so Jaden Daniels, 2 years older than Drake May. When Jaden Daniels was the same age May is now, and he was playing at Arizona State, he completed 197 passes for 2,300 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. So it's not fair for these people that are comparing, like, we should have taken Jaden Daniels because May is already ahead of where Daniels was at the same age. You know what I mean?
Brian, I think it's such a great point, and thank you for asking that question. I said I would take Michael Penix over Drake May. Is that because Drake May is not ready? No, but I'm glad you asked that question. I would have taken Michael Penix because I think Michael Penix will be the best quarterback available of the group that was available to the Patriots at the time. I'm just that high on Penix. I would have taken him. I'm not scared off by the fact that Drake May is a project. I still like May better than J.J. McCarthy and Bo Nix, and I know Bo Nix has lit the world on fire in this preseason. I know that's happened. I'm still not as high on Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix is kind of similar to Mac Jones. I mean, I don't think he is a petulant child like Mac Jones. I think he's probably got a better attitude. How could you have a worse one than Mac Jones? But I think it's kind of a similar, he's played a bunch of football, he's played in a good system, he's coming into the league pro ready, but this is kind of who he is. Now, going to Sean Payton in Denver, that is going to only help him, right? I mean, talk about ending up in a good spot. Best potential spot for any quarterback would be somebody like Sean Payton or Andy Reid, you name it. Drake May was just kind of the fourth quarterback on my board. It just was. I like Penix better than him. We'll see if I'm right. We'll see if I'm wrong. People thought I was crazy for liking Penix, as a top 10 pick. And I did before the draft. I said, you should take Penix at 3. And everybody said, McCarthy, you are nuts. What the hell are you talking about? And my point at the time was, I think he's better than a lot of people are giving him credit for. I think he was the best quarterback I saw in the NFL in college football last year. And if I'm sitting there at 3, I'm not trading down and running the risk of somebody liking him more than you think they're going to like him and he gets traded, or he gets taken. And that's exactly what happened. He went top 10. Like, if the quarterback's there, you take the quarterback because there's nothing more important. So I was just a Penix guy over Drake May. But it's not because Drake May is a project. I mean, Penix is much more of a finished product than Drake May. I just don't know if May's ever going to be as good as Penix could be at his ceiling. That's just ultimately me. But no, it has nothing to do with the fact that he's a project. That does not scare me off. 617-779-0985. Show's about to get a hell of a lot better. It was fine for the first hour. I mean, I've done worse. Skaz, trust me. I've done worse. I've done way worse. But we're about to get an upgrade. Kendra Middleton joining the show, 2 hours on a Friday night. Who the hell knows where it's going to go? You think we have a rundown? No, please. On a Friday night, no rundown, flying by the seat of our pants. 90 seconds, no commercials. Kendra Middleton joining the program next.
From the Towns Fair Tire Studios, the Patriots.
Into the end zone!
Touchdown
for the Patriots!
WBZ FM and HD Boston 98.5, the Sports Hub, a Beasley Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines.
Well, back and forth we go over at Fenway Park. Brian Bayo ran into some real trouble in the first, somehow got out of it, allowing only 2 runs. Sox trail the Arizona Diamondbacks, almost said Cardinals, 2-1 in the third. Bases loaded. Rob Refsnyder at the plate. He's playing because Tyler O'Neill can't. Again, you'll be surprised to hear that Tyler O'Neill is hurt. He's got finger inflammation. His fourth finger, his ring finger, very inflamed. Can't play tonight. There you have it. Other MLB news, if you like quirky stuff, Danny Jansen will catch for the Red Sox in Monday's suspended game against the Blue Jays, meaning he will become the first player in MLB history to play for both teams in the same game. On top of it, Jansen's technically at bat for the Blue Jays when the game resumes with an 0-1 count. But he's not going to play there. He's going to play here. Did you follow? Royals and Phillies about to get underway. Twins and Cardinals also getting underway a few minutes from now. Patriots are back on the practice field today as they get ready for the Commanders on Sunday. Full coverage at 98.5thesportshub.com. NFL today suspending J.C. Jackson 1 game for violating the league's personal conduct policy. He's currently a free agent. And in golf, Nelly Korda, your leader, by 3 shots after round 2 at St. Andrews, 8 under par. BMW Championship stateside, Adam Scott leads at 13 under. Keegan Bradley, 2 shots back. Headlines are brought to you by, wait for it, yes, Eastern Massachusetts leaders in drain cleaning and pipelining. Drains by James. Slow drain, clog drain. You need to contract Drains by James today at drainsbyjames.com. I'm Matt McCarthy on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update, 30 minutes.
Listen to it, laugh at it, get mad at it, agree with it, argue about it. It is Boston Sports. Boston Sports. And it is all we do. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Oh, it is the Joe Show. What a night indeed. James Scaramazino, as always. And for the next 2 hours, Kendra Middleton in studio, gracing us with her presence. Hi, Kendra. How you doing?
Hi, McCarthy. I'm good. How are you?
You are, I just can tell, you're a wipe-down person. You took out the Clorox wipes, everything. Good idea, by the way. Joe's sounding a little sniffly. Joe's had the sniffies the last 2 days, fighting through it, but you're where Joe was earlier, so that was a good idea.
Do you know why I started doing this? I don't know if I've ever told you this story, but I've definitely told it before.
Why?
So I came in here, I'd maybe been here for 2 or 3 months at the time on our normal show on Saturdays, and I sit down at the mic. It is 7 o'clock in the morning, and I start gagging, and I have to turn my box off and breathe for a second, and I talk back to Beaton, and I'm like, why does this microphone smell so bad? We have to go to commercial. I'm going to throw up. I can't sit at this microphone.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Were you sitting at this particular station?
I was at this one right here.
Well, I know the answer. You know who also sits in that station,
Scott
right?
Zolak was eating crab at this microphone, and I sat here to 18-hour-old crab spit on this microphone at 7 o'clock in the morning.
He's very hygienic, though. I mean, really, Zoe, when you think about it, he's definitely never clipped his toenails at that station. I just want to let you know.
I wiped this microphone down. If I sit somewhere else, don't care. This one, crab juice ain't gonna get me again. Ain't no way, ain't no how.
It's a good approach. It's a good approach.
Crab juice is just not the vibe.
By the way, thank you for your dedication in coming into the program tonight.
Of course.
It's my understanding the Jacksonville Jaguars are playing right now, so we're going to get a very distracted. Skaz, what do you think who gets more distracted? You think it's going to be Kendra watching a bunch of scrubs and jabronis?
Starters are playing.
Oh, starters, please. Well, I guess I just did say it's not a bad thing that starters are playing. Who gets more excited? Kendra watching the Jacksonville Jaguars or Tim McCone sitting here watching like a random UConn game in November? Who do you think is going to check out more on a show?
I will say it's preseason, so I think I have to lean McCone there because I've seen McCone. He gets you can see it he's fidgeting and all over the place. Yeah, when UConn's on. So preseason, even though Kendra was just back here with me, and there are noises that come out of Kendra while she's watching football. I'm very worried about one Trevor Lawrence tonight.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Mac Jones real quick. Kendra, if you'll excuse me, I really have no intention of talking Jacksonville Jaguars football.
Yeah, we do not have to do this. I know nobody cares except for me.
No, but we do because Mac Jones, James Scaramazino, just sent me this stat. He is the... What stat was it again? It was quarterback rating, right?
He leads the NFL in passer rating this preseason, for whatever that's worth.
You getting excited? Have you fixed Mac Jones?
I think it's a combination of things. I think that, one, he's happier. Two, whether you can name any Jacksonville Jaguars player or not, the depth that they have at receiver is actually incredible and really impressive this season. And even the guys that they've kind of gone through the depth chart with for the preseason have been really impressive. The draft pick, Brian Thomas Jr., obviously really good. I think that helps. And I genuinely think it's the fact that he's so much happier. And his mom's making him dinner. He's in his childhood bedroom.
A bitch. Really? I mean, you just have to call it out. Because his mom's making him dinner, he's better. And by the way, I mean, I agree with that. He couldn't handle it. He couldn't hack it.
Did you ever see, probably not, but Skaz maybe because Joe Murray loves the drama. Did you guys ever see the TikTok that went viral of his girlfriend bringing him a fresh plate of cookies while he was playing Xbox?
I think I missed that one.
Oh my gosh, there's this TikTok where there's probably 6 or 7 different clip scenes of his girlfriend bringing him an entire plate of cookies to his Xbox station.
This makes all the sense in the world. Would the kids say it checks? Is that?
Yeah.
No. Is that what they say?
Yeah,
Is it checks or it tracks?
Yeah, both.
Both are applicable. Can you tell I'm not on TikTok, Kendra?
Yes. McCarthy.
Really? What about me suggested that I'm probably not on TikTok?
Old man McTakey.
I'm 33 going on about 133. I think we can agree with that.
Although Skaz and I were talking, we are going to introduce you to the likes of Chappell tonight.
Who?
I've been texting you about her for like a month.
It's a her.
Yes.
Chappell Roan?
Yeah, when you were talking about Taylor Swift and Sabrina Carpenter, I said you have to listen to Chappell Roan. She's like, have you heard of like the Brat Girl Summer thing?
No. Have I heard Skaz, you've known me for a long time. Have I heard of the Brat Girl Summer?
McCarthy, how could you miss it? It's been everywhere.
Do you know Brat Summer?
I mean, I don't know exactly what it means, but it's in the timeline. I see it.
Perfect. Yeah.
Like, is that the term Hot Girl Summer? Wasn't that a thing going around?
It's Hot Girl Summer, but it's Brat Girl Summer. So it's like the color bright green, cigarettes, eyeliner, rats.
Okay. So they went from hot girls to brat girls.
Yes.
How did this happen? And now they're they're bratty.
It's exactly. Yes, McCarthy. Yes.
I'm getting it.
Context clues, baby.
Oh my goodness. Wow. This is going to be a 2-hour education tonight from Kendra. This is just going to be Kendra saying a whole bunch of stuff and me being like,
no.
And what is this? Please explain this cultural phenomenon to me.
You did say that you wanted tonight to be fun and we weren't going to talk Patriots for 4 hours, so I put the drama in our Slack chat. But it all circles around to what we want to do. I put Kirk Cousins' playlist in the chat. We can talk about Bennifer breaking up and getting a divorce.
We can do all of this.
We got Chappell Roan rejoins. We said that we should put out the Matt signal, not the bat signal. That's you tonight.
Me?
You're in charge.
Okay. All right. Somebody said, all of those, I guess, kind of celebrity gossip stuff. Like, somebody asked me the other day, it's like, so what is, I explained what I did for work, and they're like, so what do you talk about? Like, do you talk about like games? Do you talk about the Olympics? I'm like, not really. We just talk about the most salacious stuff of all time. It just happens to be mostly sports content. Like, guys say they don't like soap operas. We do.
I've never dated a guy that didn't love Love Island.
Of course. Who doesn't love Love Island?
Thank you.
I love Love Island.
Thank you. Did you watch Love Island USA?
I didn't watch as much this season, but I did watch last season.
So good.
It was very dramatic, as it always is. Skaz is back there shaking his head.
Yeah, we're losing the audience, but that's okay.
Michaela hasn't gotten you watching Love Island, Skaz?
I've been introduced to Love is Blind. I haven't seen Love Island.
I don't watch that one. It's just Love Island for me because it's during the summer, and that's when I don't have as much sports stuff going on. So I have time to indulge in something mindless, brainless, stupid, and that makes me feel like a smarter human being.
I'm sorry, we're still in the dead zone here for sports. Like this whole Patriots thing, as I said, I don't want to do it for 4 hours tonight. We'll do it.
It's week 0. Come on.
It's a big 0, you're saying?
No, it's week 0.
Oh, it's week 0.
Yeah.
College football. Yeah, you can tell I'm really not into that either.
We got a game in Dublin.
I know. Chris Gasper is there.
I heard this.
How far would you go to watch your favorite team, being the Jacksonville Jaguars? How far would you go? You're going to London?
Yeah.
Would you go farther than that?
Absolutely.
How far would you go to watch your favorite band do something? Like your favorite band perform? What's like the craziest? Because I kind of feel like, if you're a sports fan or if you're a music fan or whatever that thing is, like you would travel to the ends of the earth to see your favorite whatever do something. Right?
I had 4 or 5 months between the end of my internship in college and when I started school, and I followed the Grateful Dead across the country. So,
you're a Deadhead?
Yeah.
You and Felger?
Did you not know this about
I did
me?
not know you were a Deadhead. Skaz, you're raising your hand back there. You're a Deadhead?
More of a Dead and Company guy, but yes, yeah.
Yeah,
same
Dead and Company.
thing.
I mean, yeah, Dead and Company was obviously who I would have followed because...
John Mayer's just a better singer. Yeah. No offense to Jerry, but yeah, it's just...
How do you feel about that? Is that
I
offensive?
agree.
You
Yeah,
agree?
Except Cherry Garcia, ice cream flavor, kind of goated.
Of course, obviously.
I'm allergic to cherries, so out on that.
You would kill him. So wait a minute.
I'm allergic to Red 40, so I can't eat a lot of cherry things.
Mountain Dew Code Red out.
Yeah, I have a death row wish list where if I'm chronically ill or I have like a DNR, because there are so many things that I want to have, Nerds Rope, red Gatorade, and hottie sauce from Popeyes, Meg the Stallion's hot sauce. Those are the things that I want on my deathbed if I'm chronically ill.
Just like pour it in, like this is how I want to go.
Yeah.
Kill me with Red 40.
Dude, if I have to go consuming a Nerds Rope, so be it. That looks like it slaps so hard. Worth it. Get all my family out of the room, my loved ones, everything. it's going down. I'm the Meg Thee Stallion hottie sauce, me a chicken tender, hot date, gotta say.
All right, so we found out. We know how Kendra wants to die. She's a deadhead. This is, and we're just getting started. 14 minutes in. I want to learn more about you. Following the dead across the country. That's what I want to do. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so you are willing to go to the ends of the earth.
I would fly literally from here to the furthest point from Boston, Massachusetts if the Jaguars were in a Super Bowl. I would genuinely sell a kidney for the city of Jacksonville to win a Super Bowl.
I mean, think about I think a lot of people would do that for that thing that they love, whether it's their favorite football team, their favorite band, like you name it. Like everybody has that one thing that they would basically go to the ends of, family, all that, whatever. Like your thing, your thing.
Hobby, yeah, like your hobby.
Yeah, your favorite hobby, that thing you're the most passionate about. I would, there must be people out there who travel to the ends of the earth to go to model train conventions and all that. I actually saw something this week that I also need to ask you about. So much to get into with Kendra.
Aliens or no, astronauts. That's what it is. We're talking astronauts later.
We've got astronauts as well, stranded astronauts. It's not a good scene. It's not a good scene. Would you want to be stranded in space? I think not. 617-779-0985. But we do need to get back into the Patriots. We'll do that next. Kendra Middleton's here. We got room for you. It's McCarthy in for Joe.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray.
next on the Sports Hub. Zolak and Bertrand get you through the midday. Joe Murray gets you right through the night.
I actually spoke with women today.
On the Sports Hub.
Hey, me too, Joe. Skaz is either Kendra. What is this, Skaz? It's very hip.
This is your girl, the chaperone.
I don't know if I'm digging it. I'll give it a try.
The Patriots made a TikTok to this.
Once again, Kendra, I will take your word for it. Not on the top. And when people try, nothing annoys me more now. When people try to send me like videos from TikTok, I'm like, I can't see the video. Okay, I can get into this now. Like, this is kind of, it's a good beat. It does have that like Olivia Rodrigo thing to it.
Yeah, her music's really good. And she's a great performer. I saw her at Boston Calling, and she does like the whole face paint, makeup, like costume thing. She's a great performer.
And you know what? I will respect the hell out of that. Anybody who can get up there and perform on stage, I'm in. And you're good at it.
You're a Swiftie.
I can get into it. Swiftie. I saw Pink on Wednesday night. Doug, I will tell you, Kendra, the lines for the men's room in the 300 section at Pink, non-existent the other night. In, out, no problem.
That's probably how it would be for me if I went to WWE.
I have no interest. But no, let me say that again. I would totally go with the right people. Like if Jimmy Stewart and Joe Murray and Andy Wong wanted to invite me to be like, guys, like, hey, McCarthy, come along, watch it. Carabas, of course, would be a part of it. If the Kowloon crew wanted to invite me to go to a WWE event, would I have any interest in the actual event? No. But I would have interest in being around people who are passionate about something.
Yeah, agree. That's the only way you'd get me to go.
Like, I can totally get into just about anything if you're passionate about it.
Yeah,
I can respect it.
Yeah.
It might not be for me, but if you're into it and everybody else is into it, I'm here for a good time. Why the hell not? If everybody else is having a good time, I'll go along with it too. I think. Maybe.
I'll try anything twice.
Yeah, that's kind of my attitude too.
Yeah.
At least once. At least.
See, I'm down with twice because pizza, I hated as a kid, and now it's like my favorite food. And had I not tried pizza twice...
Wait a minute. You hated pizza. Are you the only child in the history of children to hate pizza?
Probably.
That's red flag, Skaz.
Yeah.
Red flag moment. You didn't like pizza.
I hated pizza, and now here I am.
Weirdo. I don't think there's a single person out. I don't know if I've ever met a person who hates pizza.
I don't now.
I know, because like you're a normal adult.
I'm the least picky eater of all time now.
That's weird. Strange. Very strange. What do you make of the Patriots right now, Kendra? What do you make of all of this? Like everything that's gone on in this preseason, everything that's gone on in this training camp, which officially wrapped up today. What is your overarching Patriots take?
So I went to the joint practice with the Eagles, and I gotta say, the offensive line, you can't get me to buy into. It doesn't matter who you move where. I don't believe in the talent at that position. That being said, do I think that Drake could play right now if he absolutely had to? Yes. Do I think that he should? No. Because here's the thing. Sure, the most important thing that he can do right now would be if they were giving him more reps with the ones in practice and preseason and whatever. But if you put that kid out there because you think that the competition is so close between him and Jacoby, which I don't think it's that far off, and that doesn't say anything about Drake May. I think that says more about Jacoby. You risk what happened with Joe Burrow. And I know that people are going to say the argument was that they almost won a Super Bowl with Joe Burrow. But the thing is that if you have him go out there and he gets hurt like that behind this offensive line, he loses every single practice snap, and he now has a major injury under his belt. And I especially with the receivers that they have too, I think that the receivers have been the most surprising position for me for the Patriots so far this preseason. But I don't think that you can get me to the window on throwing him out there right now.
So you said you don't think he's as far away as perhaps I'm making him out to be. Why is that? And you watch way more college football than me, Kendra, so I defer to your opinion on this. Like, did he come into the league more ready than perhaps I'm giving him credit for? Do you feel like he's really building on momentum here in camp? Because it does feel like he's having better practices. Like over the course of the last 2 weeks, who's had more better practices, or, who's had better practices, Drake May or Jacoby Brissett? It feels like it's Drake May. Like, what's that reason? Why is he not as far away as perhaps I think he is?
So I think it's three things really. So in college, I don't think that last season was a great season for him. I think the season before that for him was his impressive season, and that's kind of what put him on maybe like a radar or a projection or a watch list for a lot of NFL teams. What I think that it is that, one, I think that somebody is encouraging the crap out of him. I think that it was a confidence thing because they had to work so much with him on so much so quickly, and he went into this. And it depends on the player for me, and I don't know him that well personally on, whether you need a coach to coach you up or you don't, or you have an insane work ethic or whatever. I like what I've seen from him personality wise. I think it was, one, a confidence thing, and two, I think that because this team has younger receivers, it's a chemistry thing. I think that this team wants to work for him and with him because they know that he's the future. So whether it's his teammates, whether it's his coaches or whatever kind of gassing him up, I think that it was just from what I've seen in person and in these games, I think it was a confidence thing for him. I really do. I think that it was just maybe he needed to get hit a couple times by actual, people not on his team and not in practice for him to be like, all right, this is real. Like I think the kid's got a clutch gene. I just need to see it.
So, there was an obvious difference between week 1 and week 2 of the preseason. And is that his confidence? Is that their confidence in him? Like, what did you make of all of that? He played 6 snaps in, preseason game number 1, barely played at all. It felt like they, not to say opened it up for him a little bit more because they actually slimmed down the playbook a whole bunch for him, but gave him much more of an opportunity to play and succeed in week 2. What do you make of all that?
So when we have seen him throw the ball in big time moments, and by big time moments, I mean these preseason games, not a joint practice or a practice or whatever, he's got the arm, he's got the decision making, he's got the legs, he's got the athleticism, and the athleticism was his upside. I don't think that it's them maybe not wanting him to take all of these shots or whatever, but the fact that they're not letting him throw when people seem to be watching tells me more that maybe they're trying to save what he has or not let people see it or not get it on camera or people not have film on him. I don't think it's a question in his ability. I think it's we want to keep this as under wraps as we can within the building.
So I don't buy in on that. I think they're just trying to be so methodical here because and I think it's something you said before. It's the confidence thing. I think they're afraid that they're gonna shake his confidence, and maybe they appreciated or realized so early on in minicamp and OTAs and the beginning of training camp that he was far away. That they had to teach him basically how to get in a huddle. Like, it really was. NFL football 101 for Drake May. It was football 101 for Drake May, in many ways. So I think that's the reason they've slow played it. Like, I don't think they've wanted him to have a bad session with the ones, maybe in front of people at training camp. I'll give you that. And I think maybe that's why it's been so slow for him. Like, this is deliberate in some way. Like, there's this attitude that they don't know what they're doing. I actually do think they know what they're doing, but I just think they're so beyond cautious. I think that's the story here of how cautious they're being with this kid.
I would have agreed with you until we saw him take those few shots in the Eagles preseason game. I would have agreed with you 100%. His confidence wasn't there. In joint practices, you could tell that the few plays that he had that would have been sacks in a regular game that they kind of let them go through and complete some passes on and stuff like that, I would have agreed with you and all of the reporting 110%. But I think even though those 2 big plays that he had weren't completions that should have been, I think that was when the switch really turned for him. I really, really do. I think that was when he saw the confidence. Okay, they let me take a couple shots. Okay, they could have been completions, and I can do this. I genuinely think that those were his welcome to the league, maybe I'm here moment.
How close is he to being ready to play in your mind?
Here's the thing. I think that if he were in a better... I don't think that he's that far off.
You think the team's far off? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. It's not
hard to disagree with that.
It's a talent thing. One, you don't have an offensive line. And
you're going to get him killed, Kendra.
And two, the thing is that before I had seen some of, these receivers on this roster outkick their coverage, you don't have a wide receiver 1. And a young quarterback like that needs a receiver 1. We saw the reason that CJ Stroud was so successful last year. Tank Dell opened the field up for him 1,000%. Do I think that DeMeco Ryans is the freaking man? Yeah, he's a defensive coach, but man, he had a receiver. The Bears got a lot better for Caleb Williams this year. I think Bo Nix, even better receiver core out there.
And better coaching staff.
Exactly.
Better system,
Sean Payton's won a Super Bowl with Drew Brees. And here's the thing. There are question marks about Jaden Daniels, but I do think that going into the draft, Jaden and Bo were the two most ready to start in the NFL right away. And Caleb, obviously. But like those three guys, and then there's the drop off to Drake, in my opinion. And I think that people slept on Bo Nix probably because of his stint at Auburn.
Yep.
And 2, he had receivers at Oregon. And 3, I think that Dan Lanning had to hold his hand a little bit at times. But I that is the biggest difference for me, is that not only do you not have time to give him to find a receiver, you don't have a receiver for him to find.
All right, 617-779-0985. Your thoughts on Drake May, your thoughts on the Patriots entering the final week of the preseason. Mercifully. Thank God. And you're going to get to see him play this weekend. How about that? No Jaden Daniels for the Commanders, so you won't see that, but you will see Drake May this weekend. We continue. We've got In or Out coming your way at 8:50. You would have done an In or Out at this point, right, with Joe Murray?
Oh, yeah. Love In or Out.
Have you done a Murray's Musing?
I have not, I don't think.
I think we're going to have to find... Skaz, what do you think we should do? Should we do a Middleton's Musing, a McCarthy's Musing, or should we combine the two?
A little Eminem musing. You get both of you can just get in there and vent, basically. Just anything that's upsetting you. No rules on the Joe Show when it comes to musings.
Nothing ever upsets me, Skaz.
Of course not.
I'm very even keeled. Nothing ever really gets me riled up. Especially when I don't know, what Kendra's talking about when it comes to TikTok stars and all that. It definitely doesn't bother me or make me feel out of touch at all. No, definitely not. We'll continue. A couple open lines for you. Grab them. Kendra's here. It's McCarthy in for Joe.
Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox in action against the Arizona Diamondbacks right now at Fenway Park. This game settled down 2-1. Arizona with a lead at the end of 5. Brian Bayo struggling early, working out of a jam in the first.
Around here, we call them the Joe Murray pre-party. It's Felger and Maz afternoons right now. Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
I feel like I just walked into like every shop in Vermont ever, which is a place that is still living about 1971, no later than that. I did not have you pegged for a deadhead, Kendra. I did not.
Really?
It's McCarthy and Kendra in for Joe Murray tonight.
That surprises me. Like, I know that I'm rather Gen Z, but I'm my parents.
Rather Gen Z?
My parents are hippies. Like, I was raised on like the Dead.
Yep.
The first song, not that this is like a huge hippie band, my mom loves Stevie Nicks more than life, but the first song I ever knew all the words to, my mom has a home movie of me and Minnie Mouse sunglasses screaming Roxanne by the Police. Like, I was very, very into like my parents' music, still am, like, very much raised by hippies.
I had somebody give me this take recently. I thought it was terrible. They said, if you're into your parents' music, there's something weird about that. Now, it was my mom. It was my uncle. So it was my 60-something years old, whatever. And I'm like, I disagree with that strongly, because the majority of people that I know, my age, your age, Skaz, I don't know, about you, generally into at least some of the stuff their parents were into. It's not like, oh, I was into like Frank Sinatra or whatever back in the day. And by the way, I can totally dig
Love
Sinatra
Frank.
too. I mean, who doesn't? But I mean,
More of a Dean guy, but yeah.
Yeah, sure. Of course. You strike me as a Dean guy.
Of course.
Skaz.
But I think a lot of it has to do with like our parents' music was like counterculture at the time, so that still like works, as opposed to what their parents were listening to was just kind of uniform. So I think that's why my dad was a hippie. He was a Deadhead.
Yes.
Allman Brothers, Grateful Dead, big Derek Trucks guy, Tedeschi Trucks, like
Still
all
works.
that stuff. Yeah.
No, it still works. It holds up. Like, I'm sorry, like, to my uncle, like, yeah, Andy Williams from your parents' generation didn't hold up. I get that. But if you go to any classic rock, any, old school band, you see it kind of skips a generation in there. At least this is my experience going to Springsteen shows. You want to talk about the whitest shows of all time, Bruce Springsteen shows. But it's like 70-year-olds, skips a generation.
Yeah.
Then there are a bunch of people my
That's how it is with
age.
the Dead. Yeah. That's exactly how it is with Dead and Company. I have seen some really cool bands, I gotta say. I saw the B-52s in a room the size of just the studio. Not even kidding.
I think I could pass on the B-52s.
No,
though. I could
come
pass.
on, McCarthy.
I can't do Rock Lobster. Can't do it.
No.
Can't do Love Shack. No. Can't do it.
What about Private Idaho? That's a good one.
I don't know if I know that one.
Oh, McCarthy. The B-52s are so good.
I don't think I could do it.
I might be Team McCarthy on this one.
B-52s.
You guys.
Bad take, Kendra.
Wow.
We need to get a bad take sounder. Bad take. Shame. Bad take. Yeah.
I can think of a few people at this station who I would have used that for.
Yeah, we all could use it sometimes.
No shade.
Yeah, we all could use it. 617-779-0985. Chuck in Springfield. Chuck.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Listen, this take makes me feel like a 16-year-old schoolboy. I hate to say it, but here it is.
Okay.
So I think that New England Patriots, Robert Kraft on down, owe every penny in their damn pocket to Tom Brady. And I'm not a Brady groper, but this is why I'm saying that.
Yeah, I'm not a Brady groper. I would be. Wouldn't we all be? Yeah, I'd grope. He's an attractive man.
I love a Boston accent. I know that's a hot take, but God, I love them.
Serious, you think that was a real or a fake Boston accent? I think he was playing that up a bit. That's no Tom and Quincy right there, which is the Mona Lisa of Boston accents from Sports Hub Colors.
Connor Ryan, a frequent guest of the night show, is right up there with Boston accents.
Strong.
He has great tweets.
He does have great tweets, yes. His Dunkin' Donuts tweets are always phenomenal. But yeah, that felt a little forced there.
A little bit of a put on. But you like a Boston accent?
Yeah, I know that's a hot take, but I love a grimy Boston accent.
I find it charming and endearing just because it's home. You know what it is like, but so long as you can make fun of it.
See, where I'm from, everybody has a Southern accent, and I think that they're so annoying, and I'm glad that I don't have one anymore, except for every once in a while.
You know who thinks I have a Southern accent?
Who?
Our guy Fred.
Does he really?
Oh no.
I mean, I've heard him impersonate you.
Yeah. So do you think do you think I do a good Fred? Like, oh no, this is Fred's McCarthy. Those Red Sox, they stink.
I like the Fred voice that he does, but I don't think it sounds anything like you.
So I agree, but that's why I think it's funny. I find it legitimately entertaining when Fred does that, but I don't think it sounds anything like.
Yes, I would agree with both of those statements.
Is there Skaz?
I enjoy your impersonation of his impersonation.
Fred impersonating me, a Fred McCarthy, however that would work. These Red Sox, they stink. And actually, they do. Oh, no. Brian Bayo tonight. He's awful.
Yeah,
he stinks.
Is he the biggest disappointment on the Red Sox this season?
Yes.
Great question,
Yes.
Skaz.
Brian Bayo, of course, is the biggest disappointment on the Red Sox this season.
Could Cassis be right behind him?
Yeah,
I know it's an injury.
He got hurt. Yeah, but so Cassis has performed, right, when he's been healthy. Bayo, this is a letdown tonight. Like, coming off those 2 Houston games, they needed better, and instantly, Brian Bayo put all the pressure on the team. First 4 guys reached. He walked a guy in. It's 5-1 Arizona right now. Bayo's done for the night. I don't think his line's done for the night. This is like, you need a big boy start. They needed to get this series off to a good start. Gallen goes tomorrow. Kelly on Sunday. Like, those are 2 of Arizona's better pitchers. This is a disappointing start. These Red Sox.
Who has been your biggest surprise or delight on this Red Sox team, McCarthy?
Jarren Duran.
Okay.
I mean, outside of Jarren Duran being Jarren Duran at times. But no, like, being a leadoff hitter, spark plug, having a great year, actually learning how to play a good outfield. I've been shocked by that. I mean, the Red Sox themselves have shocked me.
They've outkicked their coverage, that's for sure.
How could they not? It's a little something I know something about, outkicking my coverage. 617-779-0985. We got In or Out coming our way. This is going to be a good one. An In or Out with Kendra Middleton. We'll do that next.
What's it gonna be, McFly? Are you in or out?
Everybody knows Joe.
Just keeps getting better.
Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Are you in or out? Gotta know without a doubt. I'm the one you need for a dirty deed. I'm the best. Success is guaranteed.
All right. Friday night edition of In or Out. Happy to have you both along,
Good to be here.
Long week waiting for football to finally start, but we made it. It is Friday. We'll start with a movie on this one. I don't know if you two are familiar with the Pooniverse, but when
what?
Hello. Can we say that on the air?
Yeah. Do we have to dump that? What is that?
We'll take a precaution. But yes,
Skaz legitimately did hit the dump button on that.
When Winnie the Pooh lost his licensing rights, there were some movies made. A horror movie made.
Spelled like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
My apologies.
I need a bonk.
Yeah.
A what?
A bonk.
A bonk?
No horny.
Huh?
Oh, come on, McCarthy.
Jesus Christ. You are so far. Kendra is running circles around me.
No, Skaz knows exactly where I'm at.
I don't know if that's good or bad, but I was right there on that one. But yes.
Can we get... I need a Kendra dictionary for the next time you're on. Like, I will go through, I will learn your... Oh, okay.
You've seen this.
I have seen that.
Yes.
See, it's all this internet culture stuff.
Yes.
God, Felger would hate you so much.
He does.
I understand why.
It puts a smile on my face.
It sure does, yes.
Definitely hates me.
So, yes.
Actually, that might not be true. I don't think he knows my name whenever I go and do the off-air show. So, anyway, sorry.
I don't think he knows anybody's name. That's okay.
In that same vein, Pinocchio is getting a horror movie. We got our first poster for the Pinocchio horror movie earlier today. Are you guys in or out on a Pinocchio, a horror movie?
Now that I know it's one of these, you're in the public domain and it's, the Winnie the Pooh, what is it, Blood and Honey? Which I still haven't seen, by the way.
I do believe that is the name. Good for you for knowing the name of that.
Where did I pull that one from? I don't know. I'm kind of in on this. I'm into doing all kinds of slasher stuff with all these beloved characters who end up in the public domain. I love Winnie the Pooh. Probably one of my all-time favorite series. You name it. I grew up, watched it. I need to watch the Winnie the Pooh slasher. The Pinocchio slasher, strong in. It's a weird thing anyway. Like, his nose grows. Like, there's all kinds of weird stuff you could do with that. Like, is he going to impale somebody with the nose? Who names it? Who knows? Like, yes, in on the Pinocchio horror movie. Kendra?
I'm definitely out. I think the original animated one is scary enough. I couldn't watch that or The Lion King as a kid because they scared me so bad.
I also did not like The Lion King.
It was so scary to me.
Well, most of the Disney movies are scary when it comes right down to it. I mean, here's Bambi. Boom. Bambi's mom dead. See you later.
Disney's really dark. Do you know about Peter Pan too?
No, it's a dark story.
Yeah.
It's a really dark story.
Yeah.
Like, break that puppy down.
Disney's pretty messed up.
Oh, no, it's whacked for sure. But no, let's just, present it to kids. You name it. So, Kendra, out on the Pinocchio horror movie.
I'm super out. The first one was scary enough.
Well, I agree. It is scary, which is why it lends to this.
I also hate scary movies.
I'm generally not a scary movie fan either. But the thing about this is I would find it legitimately humorous. Like, you're not going to... Is the Pinocchio horror movie really going to make you jump?
Yeah, if you're scared of dolls or something.
He is a doll.
Yeah.
He wants to be a boy, right? And then his nose
Like, that's
grows.
so scary in itself.
No, I mean, it's an effed up idea in the first place, which is why it lends itself so beautifully to a horror movie.
I hate it.
Strong in.
I did like that show Mindhunter. That's about as scary as I can get.
That was good. Thriller though. Yeah, it wasn't like a horror, but
I'm a girly pop who lives by herself. It's just me and Jackson Jeffrey. That's why there's a machete next to my door.
There you go.
Anyway,
we learn something new every night.
No, I did know that Kendra has a machete.
Yeah, have you not seen the video of me taking whiskey shots off of it?
I don't know if I've seen that one.
I'll text it to you.
Yes, I'll have to see that. But TikTok has been a popular thing on the program tonight, so that's where we'll head for the second one. Pizza Hut has announced they are allowing customers to pay for pizza with a TikTok video. This is in the United Arab Emirates. Promotion is labeled Pay With Your Trend. Are you guys in or out on Pizza Hut allowing customers to pay for a pizza with a TikTok?
Kendra, before I even answer this, can you translate what is a trend on TikTok?
So a trend is, all right, let's say...
I'm out, by the way. If you couldn't tell, I'm out, but I need to know.
let's say the hot dog dance really catches off, right? And everyone starts to do it.
Okay.
Everyone starts doing the hot dog dance on TikTok. That would be a trend.
And you like that benefits you in some way because you get more followers, you can monetize it, all of that.
So yeah, like all right, so that Chaperone song that just played, the reason the Patriots made a video about it is because there was a trend of people doing the dance that she has for that song.
Got it.
So if there's a new song or something like that that comes out, people will all do like that dance or whatever, and that's how it becomes a trend or a sound trend or an audio trends. So if let's say that happens, more people are likely to see that because that is trending and more people are making that specific content.
So basically they're giving you free pizza for free advertising on TikTok.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it hopes that whatever you do like really pops off or goes viral, or your specific video or whatever. Like, I don't know if you've seen this kid who's making...
The answer is no.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Like,
but what
just
is
in
it?
hopes that you're a weirdo and your video gets noticed.
Yeah, what is this kid doing?
Well, like, there's Odell Beckham Jr.'s brother.
Was on Love Island, right?
Yes, exactly. And he started talking about Cheez-Its. Yes, McCarthy.
Skaz knew. The reaction that Skaz had when I nailed that, he's like, I cannot believe you got that one.
Yes, he started talking about Cheez-Its on the show, and now Cheez-Its are trending because of Odell's brother. So same thing. Just randomly, you hope that you catch somebody at the right time or whatever.
God, I'm so out on this. No, just take my money. Just take my cash. Would you be surprised to know I still pay for things with cash?
Why?
I like the tactile, like...
where do you get it?
At a bank?
You go to the bank to get cash? Like, you go out of your way?
There's an ATM. Yes, it's right there on the road. It's a drive-through. It's a drive-up. Yes, I go to the bank and I get cash.
You take time out of your day when I don't even... McCarthy, I went to the mall today and I went to get dinner. I left my wallet in my car because I can pay with my cell phone.
I don't like that. It makes me uncomfortable.
I literally left my wallet in my car because I was like, I only need my keys and my phone.
I don't like that.
Only time I really use cash is like the barber shop. That's like pretty much it.
Oh, yeah. Cash too. Restaurants, you take care of them with cash tips. They don't have to report
That's
that
a big
stuff.
one.
I only have cash if I'm supporting a small business for, a little greenery.
There you go.
That is the only time I ever have cash. I don't even tip at restaurants with cash.
I can't. If I've got the cash, I like giving the bartender or the waiter or the waitress in cash. That way they go home. Now, of course, I don't know. They probably hate it.
How much cash do you have on your person right now?
I don't know. Let's find out. I probably have like $90, $100
that is
on me.
Insane.
All right, Kendra, this.
Oh my God.
That's money. That's money. Look at that. How does that feel?
40, 60, 80, 95. See, I would lose this. $95. I would lose it.
How does it feel to hold that money?
Honestly, I can't think about anything but the germs on it because somebody definitely wiped their ass and then touched that.
God, the germs with the money. That's a Felger take right there. Being concerned. Like, that's the money. It just feels good. There's nothing better than like crisp hundreds that come out of an ATM or something. This is nice. There's a good feel to it. I like that.
Do you have cash under your mattress?
No, I don't. I mean, I'm not like I didn't live through the Depression, Kendra. I'm not that old.
We're basically, statistically, I think that we're in a worse financial situation the last couple of years than we were during the Great Depression.
I don't know. I don't think we're. Say what you will about the economy. Let's not start acting like it's the Great Depression. All right?
Very positive program tonight.
Yeah, no, really. So how about that economy, huh? Yes. You see any soup kitchens out there? I don't think we have soup kitchens. Don't worry, Kendra.
We might.
I think we're in a little bit better shape than that.
I used to listen to my great-grandmother talk about living through the Great Depression.
And she had cash under her mattress for sure.
She did, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Can you blame the woman based on what happened?
When my mom's mom died, they found so much money under her mattress.
Yes. Can you blame him? The banks went under and all that. There's a little history lesson for you.
Maybe I should start hoarding cash. Although, if stuff really hit the fan, I don't think we'd be paying for stuff in cash. I think we'd go back to like a bartering system. Also, this is a bit of a tangent. I think it's so messed up how we're just like, oh yeah, it's just $1. Do you know how much $1 used to be worth?
Yes.
We should not disrespect the old bartering system like that. It's honestly a tragedy.
No, I agree.
You guys, you both, well, McCarthy just disrespected it when people are trying to pay with a trend for something. That's bartering.
Attention is currency, McCarthy, whether you like it or not.
See, that's why you're getting rich doing social media stuff, and I am very much not. Because I'm still waiting for somebody to hand me a $20 bill. You're like, wow, look at this. Thank you, Nana. We continue, Skaz.
All right, we'll head to Netflix for our next pair. The first one, we got our first look at a new Netflix TV show today called A Man on the Inside from the creator of The Office, Parks and Rec, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Mike Schur. The series follows a man who gets a new lease on life after answering an ad from a PI and becoming a mole in a secret investigation. Are we in or out on a new show from Mike Schur?
Out. Doesn't this sound a little bit like a mix between like The Office and
Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and also, I don't know, like a little bit of jury duty, like you end up like in something that you don't realize you're in. Did I misread that? I'm good on the mockumentaries at this point. They were fun for a while, and I don't mind the style, but I'm good. I'm out on this.
I'm out on the word mole, and I'm out on this show. I don't need another Office TV show. Like anything to do with the workplace. I'm trying to avoid thinking about the workplace when I'm not in the workplace. Even though I love my job, don't get me wrong. I don't know. I'm out. Give me something stupid. Brainless, mindless. I don't know. I don't care about workplace drama. I get enough. You know what? I'm going to say it. I have never had so much drama in the workplace except for when I work with all men. There is so much more gossip when it is all dudes.
Oh, here? Oh, in radio? Oh, radio is the most gossipy business of all time.
It is so insane.
Yes, that's the way it goes. Skaz, I mean, back me up on this.
I enjoy it. I think it's riveting.
Like, again, I said this the other...
You shut up and listen and don't get involved.
I stay out of it,
Yeah, no,
I think it's phenomenal.
No, it's great. And I'd like to think I stay out of it too. But I mean, I hear things. Everybody talks. Like, I said this the other day. Somebody was asking about my job. And I'm like, if you don't think guys like soap operas and dramas, of course they do. We just do it in sports form.
I take secrets to the grave, but I prod about things that are public quite hard. I will say that. Like, I will take a secret to the grave, but if you have some, like, this whole walking bets drama, you bet that I stuck my urn in the fire and I'm going to jab you in the ass with it. Why not?
We may have to get to that at some point.
Why not? Why not?
We'll get to Kendra on walking bets. What else do we have?
All right, this from TSA. I saw Kendra tweet this out just before she joined the program. TSA has declared that peanut butter is a liquid. Are we in or out on peanut butter being a liquid?
Instantly, I thought this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Peanut butter is a liquid? Out. Out. Strong out. And then we need to add nuance to the discussion here. You okay with nuance? We're good with nuance? I know we don't like nuance in sports talk radio. Can we do nuance? That good? What type of peanut butter are we talking about here? Is this Skiffy? Is this Jip? Or is this like a Teddy or a Smucker's where you have to stir it up? You got the oil.
That's a liquid.
Very liquidy. That's a liquid. It would look like a bomb, right? To TSA? I'm good with that. In on peanut butter is a liquid.
If it's Skippy, though, and you knock it... My definition of a liquid is if you knock it over, if it will spill. If you knock...
Yes, that's a good way to do it.
If you knocked a jar, no lid, of Skippy peanut butter over, it's not moving. That ain't going anywhere. So, if it's... I'm going to say out because I don't really think it's a liquid, and... like hippie peanut butter is not that popular, so overall out.
Did you do hippie peanut butter? Is that like Smucker's, Teddy, you name it?
Yeah, it's like the
liquid?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's what I grew up with for years, and it was fine. And then I remember going over to my friend's house. I think it was Kevin Nessline. I went over to Kevin Nessline's house. I was 5 years old, and we got like Skip, a Jif or Skippy or whatever. It was like mind blown.
Does that make mayonnaise a liquid?
It's a slippery slope.
Let's go.
Slippery slope.
Let's go down it. Is mayonnaise a liquid?
I think mayonnaise is a liquid.
Mayonnaise is egg pudding for sure.
Mayonnaise liquid. Technically a liquid.
Yeah.
Now it's a solid liquid.
Where my question comes in here is, how many people were trying to travel with peanut butter that TSA felt the need?
Did you know that's a fetish?
To traveling with peanut butter?
No, just peanut butter in general.
Everybody's got something.
I can believe it. Actually.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, my dog, but like people, I don't know.
I might have a peanut butter fetish.
Oh.
I'm now realizing this. I love peanut butter.
We don't kink shame here.
I would put peanut butter on anything. Really,
okay.
I think I have a peanut butter fetish. Now I'm getting all kinds of ideas of fun things I could do with peanut butter. I'm in. I hand up, Matt McCarthy. I have a peanut butter fetish.
All right.
You're good with that?
Yeah, not a foot guy, peanut butter guy.
No, definitely not a foot guy. Feet are gross. I am not sliding into Kendra's DMs asking for pictures of feet.
See, now we can bonk McCarthy.
Yes. Bonk. Now I get it. I've seen them.
Yeah. Yep.
No.
Full circle.
No feet thing for me. Nope. Peanut butter, though, in.
I mean, people use whipped cream. Why not, I guess?
Is it that far from whipped cream?
No.
And is it tasty? Is it delicious?
You really got to work a lot harder for peanut butter than you do whipped cream, though.
What if it's the kind of the liquid, like...
There's a lot of bonks going around right now.
I'm just saying.
Lots of them.
What if it's more in it, like the concentration of it is still more in that liquid form? What if you take it out of the jar, you still have a little bit of that liquid going on there? It's like a softer version. It's like fresh out of the jar. Not when it gets crusty by the end by the bottom of the Teddy peanut butter jar. I'm just saying. Should we move on?
Yeah.
Is this getting uncomfortable?
No, I'm not uncomfortable. I think Skaz is uncomfortable.
I think
Never.
I think the people are getting uncomfortable. All right, there we go. We have anything else?
We learned something about McCarthy.
All right.
Very informative program.
I learned something about me. I have a peanut butter fetish. It's true. Very true.
Can you clip that?
we can wrap up with this one quickly because Kendra put this in earlier today. She just simply wrote mullets. In or out?
Because Kyle Shanahan has a mullet right now.
Yeah, I think I'm out on head coach mullets, I think.
I'm so in on the Kyle. I'm on the Shanna mullet. I'm in. I'm so in on the Shanna mullet, dude. It's awesome. You're a football coach. You're not working in office. If you know what, if you're whoever can go out there with a chain and earrings and whatever shaved into the side of their head, mullet. Yes, I would love if my 45-year-old, 50-year-old partner came home and had a mullet. I'd be like, hell yeah, brother, I'm in.
I think if it's like Dan Campbell, I think I'd be more in. But Shanahan,
He's
it's just
bald.
like, yeah, but that would be fantastic.
What's he gonna do? Shave one of his dogs and tape it to his head?
Well,
hey, listen, Kendra. As some of us are starting to bald rapidly, some of us are considering acts like that, which is why I'm now in on mullets. I was never in on mullets before. Don't like the style. If I could grow a mullet right now, I would. You know why? Because it would mean I'm growing hair, and that's a step in the right direction.
I love a mullet. Sorry, not sorry. It might be a cultural thing. I love a mullet.
All right, Kendra into mullets.
Maybe that's my fetish.
I'm into peanut butter. There you go. 617-779-0985. I am not into the Red Sox giving up grand slams. I hate that. Quick update, then right back with the IC on the phone lines. We'll take care of you.
WBZ-FM and HD Boston.
Patriots!
It's an all-new season for the Patriots.
Wow.
You'll hear it all right here.
Yes.
Your home of the Pats. 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines.
Yeah, this hasn't gone well. Grand slam for the Diamondbacks. They lead 9-2 in the 7th. There you have it. Brian Bayo not good tonight. Elsewhere, Patriots are back on the practice field. They get ready for the Commanders on Sunday. Full coverage, 98.5, thesportshub.com. Golf today, Nelly Korda, your leader by 3 shots after round 2 at St. Andrews. BMW Championship, Adam Scott, your leader at 13 under. Headlines are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Matt McCarthy on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
Boston's best sports talk. There's an app for that. Download the Sports Hub app for loads of stuff. Absolutely free. Connect with the shows, get podcasts, and more. Get it where you get your apps. Or at 985sportshub.com.
Bit of a deeper cut, Gaz. Well done. Why are you laughing back there?
Total guess. Total guess.
Really? You know who this is, Kendra?
Nope.
It's my guy. It's the boss, Bruce Springsteen.
I was not raised on Bruce.
Well, it's a reflection of your parents, and not a good one. I'll give you that.
I mean, my dad went to high school with Leonard Skinner. You gotta give me some credit when I
Wow, that is really, like, you talk about being from the South. That is
Yeah.
like the ultimate being from the South.
Yeah.
Going to high school with one of the guys in Leonard Skinner.
Yeah, like yes.
Yeah.
I did not grow up on Bruce Springsteen.
Confederate, yeah.
One of those guys definitely has a mullet. They might have a couple
Hell
mullets.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just about all of them at this point. Yeah, no. Leonard Skinner and Bruce Springsteen singing about very different things.
Yeah, exactly.
Very, very different. One, his most famous album was in front of the American flag. Leonard Skinner known for a bit of a different flag. Yay. All right. Leno in the shop. Leno.
Yo, what's up?
How you doing?
Did you say in the shower?
Doing all right.
He's in the-
Guys,
he's
when
in
are you
the
going to come
shop.
through and get some churn and go, bud?
I'll be there. I'll be there as soon as I get a free night.
No, you won't. I know it. It's all right. My main question is, where's KJ Osborne been? I think that he's way better of a wide receiver than Tyquan Thornton would be.
The Tyquan Thornton thing is fascinating. Like Alex Van Pelt talking him up the other day. You know what my theory is on this? And Maz had the same thought. They're talking him up to try to trade him. It means that he's not making the team. I think KJ Osborne's a lock. Mike Reese said early on in camp he's a lock. I take Mike Reese at his word, particularly when he reports stuff like this. Don't get all bent out of shape about the Tyquan Thornton stuff. They're trying to talk him up to get a 7th-round pick for him.
I mean, that's maybe where he's been, trying to keep him healthy, but talk him up at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't trust him to throw him out there, why would you show any more tape?
Yeah, and you feel that the wide receivers have been one of the surprises of this camp. You feel actually okay about where they are at the wide receiver position?
I think that just because it was such a point of contention the entirety of this offseason was no receiver one, no wide receiver one, blah, 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 blah. Juju was a bust, blah, blah, blah. I think Demario Douglas, despite the injury last year, showed a lot of flashes. I think there's a lot of potential with him. Jalen Polk, draft pick. Obviously, he's had really good flashes in the preseason. Jalen Reagor has been pretty hit or miss for me. When he's on, he's on. When he's off, he's off. I think that there is upside there. Kendrick Bourne, obviously, I think Kayshon Boutte could have a big year. Javon Baker, despite the drop, I think that there's also an upside there. Just got to stop greasing your gloves before the game. But as far as the conversation of how down people have been on this receiver group, that's the reason that I put it a little higher for me as a surprise. Do I think that it is, a top 20 receiver room in the league? No, but is it better or surprised me in comparison to what I expected? Yes.
Is it better than last year?
I think so, yeah.
I think so, too.
1,000%. Especially with the addition of Jalen Polk and the fact that he's shown some flashes, yeah.
So the thing that worries me is Bourne's health. Coming on, it sounds like he's going to be on PUP. I worry about Pop Douglas staying healthy, but, when he, does stay healthy, I think he's a quality NFL receiver. Jalen Polk's the guy who excites me here. And I don't, anticipate that he's going to be a number one receiver. I don't think he's that. But can he be a quality NFL receiver, which is something they have really lacked for years, Kendra? I think yes.
It's also the tight end question for me. Like, Hunter Henry was a bit of a security blanket for Mac Jones in his early time in New England. So can he be healthy? And I loved the addition of Austin Hooper, but once again, it's the health question mark.
Got to stay healthy in the NFL. I mean, that's why, these guys hit 28, 29 years old. Hooper was a good player for a number of years, but I'm not counting on anything from him. 617-779-0985. I do want to get your thoughts on the sale of the Celtics, which feels like we had a lot of news this week, and I'm not sure I liked it. We'll do that next. Kendra's here. Skaz is here. It's McCarthy in for Joe Murray. There's Reese's down the hall, and I need to go get some. Thinking about that peanut butter.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. Oklahoma Sports Hall.
The Celtics are for sale.
Mm-hmm.
And I happen to have a bunch of information on this because this is a huge, huge topic right now in the circles of people that would want to buy a team. And there's a bunch of stuff going on. I don't care about being aggregated on this because I'm right. The league wants $6 billion for the team, for the Celtics. $6 billion. They don't own their arena. It's a crazy price, but they're probably going to get it. So there's that. They want the $6 billion because they want expansion teams in Seattle and Vegas. And then Mexico City's kind of looming as a third team, but they want to get $6 billion apiece for the two franchises for expansion, which would mean a check of $400 million to every NBA owner, all 30, right? So they're trying to establish a price with the Celtics team. And the Celtics themselves, the Grossbeck family, because the dad of the majority owner, Wick, is driving the sale. And he just wants the highest price. He's not like, oh, these local guys, let's cut him. He doesn't care. He wants the biggest price he could possibly get. And in the last few days, there's been some, I think, legitimate buzz about Jeff Bezos buying the Celtics. And I think it's real. I think he's going to be one of the suitors, which got me thinking, why would Jeff Bezos, when he's looking at the Celtics, what is he seeing? What does he want? And I think the only way it makes sense, I mean, granted, he has $1 kajillion, but it's one of the crown jewel franchises, right? That's why you get it. But I think it's real that he's potentially in the mix for this.
Probably heard that by now. Bill Simmons earlier this week on the possibility of Jeff Bezos buying the Celtics. Before I get into my thoughts on the report and whether or not I think it'll happen, would you want that, Kendra? It's a lot of money. Got a lot of money at his disposal. Amazon, don't know if you've heard about this company. They're kind of big.
Surprisingly, I have.
Oh.
They're big on the internet.
Yeah, sure. Huge. Big time. You'll be surprised I almost never order anything from Amazon. Will you be surprised by that?
I am not surprised by that. No. You pay for everything in cash. You can't pay for stuff on cash if you're ordering it on the interweb.
I like brick and mortar. I like going into the store.
What do you do if they don't have it?
Well, then I order it. But I like going down to the store.
And going to the bank?
I do enjoy going to the bank.
This is how I'm going to determine something.
Okay.
Would you rather go through the drive-thru or would you rather go in?
I love going in.
Oh my God,
I go
McCarthy.
I go into the store. Yep. I go into, whatever it is, Dunkin', you name it. I go in. I don't go through the drive-thru. The drive-thru annoys me.
That is such an old man move.
It's total old man.
I would rather go through the drive-thru for anything.
You just, I think it's people don't like interacting with people. And I generally don't mind people.
Yeah, I don't. I would rather self-checkout. I'm a self-checkout girl.
I've gotten into the self-checkout recently. But put it this way, if I walk into my local Shaw's and nobody's there, you got self-checkout or you got the kid, running the cash register or whatever, the checkout lane, I'll go into the lane. Oh, yeah, what's up? How you doing? I'll have them bag it for me. I like that human interaction. And I don't need the computer to do everything for me. But I'm not going to stand in line to do that. But honestly, that's one of the reasons I go into stores in the first place. Instead of going into the drive-thru, it's faster. Everybody's in the drive-thru.
You
It's
probably
a life
print
hack.
your boarding passes too.
No, I stopped doing that. I did stop doing that. It took like about 3 years ago, but I did stop doing that. It's like, wow, this is incredible. I don't have to fumble around and fidget around for a boarding pass that I'm afraid I'm going to lose. I had real tickets to Foo Fighters. We got them here at the station, and it was the first time I had like physical tickets in a while.
I was going to say, yeah, you give like the energy that you still own a printer.
I actually do still own a printer. Well, what if you need to print something, Kendra? Taxes
what if I
or whatever?
ever needed to print?
Didn't you ever need to print your tax return or whatever? I don't want to go down to Staples and have
What
them
do you
print
have to
my
print
tax.
your tax return for?
I did have to print my tax return a few years ago, and believe it or not, my printer wasn't working. So I came in here and I printed it, and it got sent to some random printer, and I didn't know where it was, and I had everybody in the building looking for it. One of the big bosses here, Cadillac, was like, he emailed me 2 days later. He's like, hey, I have your tax return and all your financial information here. I'm like, could you shred that, please? Thank you. So, yes, you need a printer. You should own a printer, Kendra.
You'll go through the drive-thru for the ATM, but not at Dunkies.
Yeah, but the ATM has been placed outside for years. One of the banks near my house, actually, you have to go inside
But
to
that's a computer, and
the
you just said you're
vestibule.
anti-computer.
Well, I mean, I'm not anti-computer. I'm saying I prefer the human interaction over the computer sometime. But I mean, the ATM, I'm totally fine with that. You know what? I do like the banks where you still have to go into the vestibule. You have to put your ATM card in to access it after hours. I still enjoy that. It feels like 1994 all over again.
I wasn't even alive.
I know. That's the thing.
I wasn't even a thought.
1994 was cool. 1997 was cool. 1999 was cool. I enjoyed it.
McCarthy. Speaking of Dunkies, though, I think that the owners of Dunkies, like the Bain Capital Group or whatever the few groups that own them, they should partner with somebody and buy the Celtics.
Okay, so you don't think it should be Jeff Bezos?
As much as I love the idea of not having to bring my wallet anywhere and being able to pay with my palm or my phone or whatever. And
your face, you just like stick it in there and it recognizes and it charges your bank account,
my
whatever
retinas,
it is.
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Pay with your retinas.
I love the idea of that. I don't really want Amazon's scrummy mitts in my city. So now that I live here, I'm like, get out.
So it's just about Jeff Bezos. That kind of creeps you out a little bit.
He gives me the ick. He creeps me out. But at the same time, once you plant that seed in Boston for Amazon anything, we become the Amazon city. We become the Amazon hub. Everyone here is already old and cranky and doesn't want the traffic, doesn't want anything to change. They want everything to stay the same. They want to pay with cash. They want to go, into the ATM. All of those things.
Me. Yes. Me. And you're right, I don't want Jeff Bezos.
Could you imagine if this became the city of the future? Like, no.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I like living the past. I like Boston's old school charm. Yeah,
if I could go to TD Garden and get a freaking coffee anywhere in that place, I'd be a lot happier of a human being.
That's not Boston. That's not Boston.
Donkeys at TD Garden?
Well, of course, Donkeys at TD Garden.
That is Boston.
Kendra, I just recently had the honor of opening the McDonald's at TD Garden. I was there.
I know.
I hawked some Big Macs. It was awesome. It was great. That's a Boston experience. I enjoy that. Donkeys at TD Garden. That's great. This isn't, though, about Jeff Bezos and Amazon or anything like that. I don't want outside money coming in here and buying the Celtics. You should, as a Celtics fan, want it to be PAGs, want it to be local ownership, want it to be people that care about the team. That's important because ultimately, I think that leads to better success for the team on the court because they might be willing to spend a little bit more money on the team 15, 20 years down the road. Bezos could come in here and drop all his money on the Celtics, and that's great, but will he still be doing that 5 years from now, or will he have moved on to something else? Will he become John Henry? Will it become another item in his portfolio? Somebody like Pags, who was, absurdly wealthy and was Bain Capital and you name it and all of that. Like, Pags has tons of money, all right? So all of these guys are absurdly wealthy to some extent. But having it somebody who's been here, done that, has been a part of the ownership group, a good ownership group, I believe cares about the Celtics, that is so much more important than getting somebody with even deeper pockets than a guy like Steve Pagliuca.
Yeah, but I also look, another reason if I were a Celtics fan, if I didn't care about the piece that I already mentioned, Bezos does not give a crap about a luxury tax. That is chump change.
It is, but does he give a crap about it eventually? Because I think all of these guys, just because his pockets are so deep, doesn't mean that he won't ultimately be cheap.
Yeah, but
Robert Kraft is worth what? And they've got $50 million in cap space and have been at the dead bottom of the league in cash spending for years. All of these guys are rich. But most of them don't spend.
You got to consider that Amazon just moved into the medical space in a country where medicine is for profit.
No doubt.
He's not going to give a crap. That man mathematically, and you can do this math, could spend $100,000 every hour since Jesus hypothetically walked this earth, and he would still be a billionaire.
So I don't think it's necessarily about the money and having the deepest pockets, because all of these guys are going to have deep enough pockets. I just don't need to have the deepest of the deep pockets, and that's what Jeff Bezos represents, because I don't necessarily think, Kendra, that's a guarantee that you're going to spend more on the team. Like, theoretically, of course it should be. You have more money to spend, and you do spend it. But John Henry has more money to spend on the Red Sox. Is he spending it on the Red Sox?
I don't
or
think
is he spending it elsewhere?
I also don't think he's a winner.
John Henry did win 4 World Series.
What I'm saying is I don't think that he is the kind of guy that's going to go in there and be like Wick in the sense that like I don't care what it takes.
Mm-hmm.
I want to win. Sure, you can put your faith and your money in the right people. Whereas the thing that I think that sets Wick apart, and it kind of reminds me of Bezos in a sense. Do I want Bezos here? Still no. I think that they both, no matter what it is, prioritize that in the same way.
It was easy for Wick to do that, though, because he didn't actually own the team.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually his money in the end. It's easier to spend somebody else's money than it is to spend your own money. And even if you're the richest man on earth or close to it, and I don't know who the richest man on earth is, it probably is Jeff Bezos or whatever it is. Just because you have that money does not mean you're guaranteed to spend it.
The difference with John Henry, too, though, is that he's been there, he's done it, and he has won. And I don't think that drive is there in the same sense anymore. And now he does have his fingers in other places and in other pots. Whereas I think that Bezos probably, since he has not felt that sensation, would be more likely to be competitive and want to win something in that sense.
I just want Pags. Give me Pags. Give me what I know. The known here is better than the unknown.
Comfortability. That's what McCarthy wants.
Who doesn't want comfortability?
I like insanity. I crave chaos. I have orange cat energy.
You just want to watch the world burn? I'm sorry, orange cat energy?
Yeah. Orange cats are nuts. Have you ever been around an orange cat?
Yeah, I have been around an
crazy.
orange cat. You a cat person?
I wish I was a cat person. I'm horribly allergic to cats, which is a blessing in disguise because I'd probably have 47 of them and I'd be in jail for hoarding them.
Do you have? You're saying you have like crazy cat person energy about you?
Not even cat person energy. I just love animals in general. I used to get in so much trouble with my mom because she would come home and I'd have 2,000 tadpoles in her marble bathtub, or she would pick me up from daycare and I would have 37 caterpillars attached to my person. I got sent to the office one time in elementary school because I came in from recess with 2 lizards clipped to my ears like earrings.
That's a Florida experience right there. 2 lizards clipped to your ears. That sounds like Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting some pet shrimp at the moment.
Pet shrimp?
Yeah.
So what, you can cook them and eat them?
No, they clean their own tanks. You basically don't have to do anything. You can and they're really cool looking if you get, they come in rainbow colors.
You can get pet shrimp.
Rainbow shrimp.
You can just walk into a pet store.
You got to order them.
This doesn't sound legal. Like, you just order an animal online? You can do that? Does Amazon bring that to you?
I wonder if Amazon sells shrimp. Hold on. I had an ant farm as a kid, too.
I bet you they do. You just buy animals.
Shrimp.
Yeah, of course.
Live. Wow.
617.
You can buy shrimp on Amazon.
Of course you can.
I'm doing this right now.
It sounds like a terrible idea.
I officially have a pet shrimp named Grits.
I don't. It's a cute name.
Thank you.
It is. Good Southern name right there.
20 of them for $30.
Oh, and what? It's going to be at your doorstep when you get home because it'll be there. You walk into a brick and mortar and get some shrimp around here. You know what that's called? A restaurant. We continue. Kendra's here. It's McCarthy here on the Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
Yeah, not good for the Red Sox. They trail 9-2 right now in the 8th inning. Brian Bayo, not his best outing. 5 runs, 7 hits.
He's unsigned right now. He needs to sign, and we're a long way from this, I know. He needs to sign by December 1st, or he can't play this year. But I don't think that's going to happen, first of all. But so this is kind of where they are right now. So unless another team comes by with an offer sheet, which is probably not going to happen, and if they do, they'd be negotiating for the Bruins, and they'll take that because the Bruins are going to match whatever offer sheet happens. They're kind of waiting in limbo right now. This is very reminiscent of 2017 when David Pastrnak was an RFA. And if you remember back then, he signed on the first day of camp. So I think we're kind of trending towards something similar here, to be honest with you. But right now, you're kind of in a holding pattern, and both sides have time on their side right now in terms of like the Bruins can dig in and say, no, you're a $7 million goalie. And Swayman's camp can dig in and say, no, he's a $9 million goalie. And then you'll eventually meet in the middle and you'll get a deal done. But right now, it's August. There's nothing going on. Half the league is on vacation. And so I think that's why you're kind of in this holding pattern right now. But both sides know a deal is going to get done. It's just a matter of who blinks first right now.
Anderson a few days ago after a really good report catching up with Jeremy Swayman. I think he was running a triathlon, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not near anything. Anything with the word athlon, I'm not at that event. I can guarantee you that. So glad Ty was there because I wasn't. McCarthy, we got Kendra for a couple more segments here. We're going to do some musings with Kendra in a few minutes. But I do want to hit on the Jeremy Swayman situation, which still is not resolved. And Sean Hutchison, who's covered the Sean Hutchin, I would say, has covered the Bruins. He's a player agent. He's been a Bruins correspondent. Like he's tied in. You know, he's a reporter. Had this yesterday. Sources close to the situation tell me that while talks are ongoing, as of today, the Bruins and Jeremy Swayman are far apart in contract term and dollar amount. Doesn't feel great, Kendra. What's your latest thought on this?
So I just think it's really unfair to Jeremy Swayman for a couple of reasons. One, I think you should pay the guy whatever he wants. Goaltending, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Goaltending is what will win you a Stanley Cup. It's what gets you through the postseason. You ride the back of your goalie. But my thing is, one, I think he deserves it. Two, you sent the kid to arbitration last year. Three, you've made him split reps when he's clearly your best goaltender. And I get that Linus Ullmark was a Vezina winner. But through the stretch of last season, it was Jeremy Swayman. And despite the injury, they were still splitting time until the postseason. And I just don't think that they've treated him very fairly. And if it takes you, giving him, I don't know what he's asking for. I'm assuming
he's probably
8
asking
for 8.
At least 8 for 8, but he's probably asking
8.5,
for
9, whatever.
Ty said 9.
Yeah, which fine. You can meet in the middle of that if you want to give him 9, whatever. If you want to cite him for shorter, whatever. But now, not only do you run the risk of him saying, or his agent saying, I don't want to be in Boston for that long because, one, you've drugged me through arbitration. Two, I'm a number one goalie. I'm not here to, split time with a guy regardless of the Vezina thing, whatever. I just don't think that it's fair. You pay the guy whatever he wants. They're not paying really, they're paying people, but you have the money to do it. So why aren't you? And on top of that, Korpisalo is not going to be the kind of guy who's going to be, your number one goalie.
He's a sieve.
And Brandon Bussey down in Providence could be a guy in a year or two, but I think he needs another year or two because that's been one of the complaints, because they haven't had to bring him up and play in a Big B's uniform because of the goalie rotation and the goalie tandem. I think that's hurt him a little bit. I think that he'd be ready if that weren't the case, but he's not. So what are you doing?
Yeah, I think you're hitting on an important point as part of this. They've always kind of held back a little bit. They've held something back on Swayman. And when you thought, Swayman was going to take over, they brought Rask back for an extra year when Ullmark was already here. There was a lot of, clamoring for Ullmark's first year here, and that was the Rask year as well, to hand the job over to Jeremy Swayman. They weren't ready to do that. Ullmark was the starting goalie going into the playoffs. Swayman then took over. Ullmark won the Vezina the next year, so I kind of, ignore that. But then they took Swayman to arbitration last year. Feels like they've never really been... They were so reluctant to truly make him the number one guy. Now he's really the number one guy, and it feels like they're reluctant to meet his contract demands and pay him. like he's a top 5 goalie in the NHL. And listen, it's a hard cap league, so you can't just give guys everything they want. I get that. I understand that. But there's always something going on with the Swayman contract thing, or there's always something going on with it feels like their level of trust in Jeremy Swayman before all of this. They've always kind of dragged their feet at every step of the way on Jeremy Swayman, and they're kind of doing it here again. Is it going to get done? Yes, I think it's going to get done. But I just don't like the way they've handled Swayman really since the time he entered the league.
And I think that my biggest issue with all of this, and I don't mean local in the fact that he's from here. I know that he's from Alaska, but he's local in the sense that he played in the Hockey East. He went to UMaine. You drafted him from UMaine. Mm-hmm. You have developed him.
No doubt.
And there is such an emphasis in sports on developing, retaining, and paying the talent that you do that with. Mm-hmm. And the fact that you're not doing that, I think, is a really bad look for this organization. It's a really bad look for this organization because that doesn't happen for the Bruins often, especially with their draft history and all of that in the last, 8 to 10 years. And now you finally have not only that, but someone in a goalie that's played Hockey East hockey. It's not like you just drafted him and retained him. Like, he's been big in the area for a long time, and you're risking pissing him off for that. Like, what's the point?
Yeah, there's always been something with Jeremy Swayman, and this is just the latest. And again, do I think it's going to get done? Yeah, but I don't know. The longer this goes on,
did he kiss somebody high up's daughter or something? Like, what is going on?
Sometimes I ask myself that question all the time. 617-779-0985. Bill in Manchester with a thought on Drake May. Hi, Bill.
Hey guys. So I had I had a thought about May, but actually you guys brought something up that was kind of more interesting, but. The one thing I will say about May, I had a good thing was starting Drake May is going to be like wearing a pair of new Jordans to shovel your driveway. It doesn't serve any purpose. They're not going to be a winning team if you start him. Let him sit. Let him learn. What actually I thought you guys brought up during one of the breaks there was the expansion teams and talking about Mexico and London. And I was wondering to myself, how do you make that work? Like, how do you get guys to go?
Did we? Huh? Did we at one point mention London or Mexico City at all in any context in this show?
No.
I don't think so. That's strange.
It's been a lot of topics covered tonight. I'm not sure that was one of them.
No, we've run the gamut. I mean, what have we determined tonight, Kendra? We've determined that I'm old. We know that.
You have a peanut butter fetish.
I do have a peanut butter
That'll
fetish.
be my unfortunate big takeaway of the night.
Yep. I'm never going to be able to look at a jar of peanut butter the same way.
You just look at it and be like, ooh.
You're not the only one, though.
McCarthy
you're not
loves
even
this.
close.
Yeah, learning about the peanut butter fetish in general might be my scarring takeaway from tonight.
And in the grand scheme of things, this might be
I guess
a hot
it's pretty timid.
That's pretty vanilla.
Yeah.
It's giving McCarthy.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, of all my fetishes, like, what would you say? Like, would it be like a vanilla, boring fetish?
Yeah,
where you
peanut
just-
butter probably right up there, actually. now that
Covering
you
a
say
girl
it.
in peanut butter and walking her into the bank to pull cash is like McCarthy's dream.
So, yeah, exactly. We need to have this cash so we can go to the Bruce Springsteen concert tonight. Yep, that's kind of what it is.
But make sure you got, your peanut butter perfume on.
Oh. Peanut butter smells great.
Well, I mean, you guys just brought it up, but one Will Levis, I believe, did get a mayonnaise cologne recently. You in or out on the mayonnaise cologne?
Okay, do you know the lore behind the mayonnaise thing?
He puts it in his coffee?
There's multiple. So yes, that was a big thing that Will Levis did. He was kind of known for having a good sense of humor. But the big thing in the AFC South fandom is that the Tennessee Titans are mayo eaters. Their players, everybody. They're just Southern POS mayo eaters. They gag themselves on mayo. Like, that's just the thing.
Wait a minute. If you eat mayo, that makes you a POS? Like,
No,
we're just talking about
just
straight?
Titans fans.
Okay.
In general.
But like just straight mayo. Because like Tim McCone did that on Zolak and Bertrand at one point. He ate mayo out of a jar, which most people think sounds disgusting. And I'm not saying I could eat a full jar of mayonnaise, but like, have I had like a spoonful of mayonnaise before?
Ew.
Yes, I have.
Ugh.
Mayonnaise is great. Mayonnaise is excellent.
My dad used to call mayonnaise God's lubricant.
Oh, jeez.
Just some clarity. Someone on the show tonight did mention the expansion teams. It just wasn't the three of us. It was Bill Simmons in the cut we played.
Did somebody just tweet us?
Do you think
that
I
or
was
something?
paying attention?
The
do you
YouTube
think I
chat.
was paying attention to
You
the
owe
rejoin?
that guy an apology.
I do.
McCarthy.
I'm sorry. I cut him off. I was an a-hole. I was.
He should call back and yell at us.
He should.
We were mean to him.
I apologize to. Was it Bill in Manchester?
Yes.
I apologize, Bill. Thank you for joining the program.
I like Bill. I don't like Manchester. I'm banned from a bar there.
You're banned from a bar in Manchester.
Yeah. But
How
other
did
than that,
happen?
Bill rocks.
Is this a story for Murray's musings?
I think it is. We shall muse. There are many things we must muse on. We will do so next.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
You want a random take? Murray's got all sorts on stuff in the world unrelated to sports. So sit back, relax, and get your mind in the game and listen to the words of a grown man complaining.
No, it's not Murray's musings tonight. It's Middleton's musings, McCarthy's musings. We will muse. We shall muse on anything. I do have a story I want to get to, but we do need to pay off the tease before the break. You are banned from a bar in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Yeah. I made the owner real mad, so I can't go there anymore.
Can you explain how you made the owner real mad, or is this...
Yeah, he used to be my landlord, and he tried to charge me for he lived there before me, and he tried to charge me for a refrigerator he left in the basement full of stuff, and he sent us pictures of it in the, move out, whatever, and there was expired stuff in there from before we ever moved in, and I zoomed in and said, "Ha! Loser," and now I'm banned from his bar.
Oh, so you've never been to the bar?
I have.
Oh, okay, but you now know.
And now
you can't go there.
yeah.
I mean, this is the ultimate, don't crap where you eat type of moments for you, Kendra.
Yeah.
Don't show up at your landlord's bar in any scenario, really.
Yeah, but it's a cool bar.
But there are many cool bars out there.
In Manchester, New Hampshire, McCarthy.
Fair. But why were you in Manchester, New Hampshire in the first place? We love you, Manchester.
I actually love New Hampshire.
Oh, I very much enjoy New Hampshire. You just got to go north from there.
Live free or die. I love New Hampshire. Portsmouth,
Conway?
shout out.
Portsmouth is great. Conway is great. You go up to, Sunapee or wherever, Ossipee. Yeah, no, there are great parts of New Hampshire.
Rye Beach.
No doubt about that. You just got to go north.
Anywhere but Hampton. Hampton reminds me of Daytona.
Never been to Hampton. No interest in going to Hampton.
Bernie's Beach Bar is pretty cool. You could catch me there for one of their raspberry lime Rickies, but outside of that, you will not catch me at Hampton Beach. It gives Daytona vibes.
Kendra, do I strike you as a beach kind of person?
Don't
you're looking at my very pale skin.
Yeah, I
there.
was.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna front.
Yeah.
No.
Not a beach person. Don't like the sand.
Do you like the outdoors?
No, not really. The outdoors. The outdoors is fine when the sun isn't up. Big fan of the night.
What do you do in the summer?
I basically just wait for it to end. I hate it.
You do? But you're a baseball guy.
Yeah, that's true. So I sit inside and I watch baseball.
You're a contradiction.
I don't like the summer. I don't like the sun.
I
The sun
love
the sun is my sworn enemy. Big fall guy. Love fall. This week was great when we had that 65-degree day or whatever. Oh.
Do you like the winter?
Love the winter.
Ew.
Honestly, winter, number 2 season. Because spring kind of sucks now. Spring is basically just like winter extended, and it's just kind of muddy and gross.
Wet.
Spring, wet, out on spring. Spring, overrated. Fall, best season. And then after that, winter. Give me the winter. Cold, desolate, dark.
Sometimes I think you just say things to make people angry.
I swear, Kendra, take one look at me. Does it look like I like cold, desolate, and dark? I'm meant for this. I'm Irish. I'm meant for this.
You
I was
like being
built for this.
depressed?
Kinda, actually, yeah. I like my feelings. I like feeling. And if it's a bad feeling, so what? At least I'm feeling. At least I'm alive.
Okay. Wow.
I was kind of an emo kid. I don't know. I'm kind of a weirdo.
What was your favorite emo band?
I don't know. So it's interesting. It's like, because they were all kind of emo, right? I mean, My Chemical Romance, for sure. But I was more into the pop punk. But I guess some of them would be considered emo anyway.
Yeah.
Give me Blink-182, give me Green Day, give me, you name it. Just about anything from that era. I'll do Good Charlotte, I'll do Yellow Card, anything from 1998.
Yellow Card from Jacksonville.
Great band. Ocean Avenue, I will say this, is one of the best albums of the last 20 years.
It's about Jacksonville.
Outstanding album. Is there an Ocean Avenue in Jacksonville?
There is.
It's not. You're not really on the ocean, though, but it does
McCarthy,
extend out.
Come on.
Jacksonville is the largest,
Jacksonville
the city itself.
Yeah, but it's oceanfront.
It's not that oceanfront,
Yes,
isn't
it is, McCarthy.
I'm generally pretty good with geography, and I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong. I just need to check this out. I know you're from
telling
there.
me that I'm wrong when I was born in Jacksonville Beach and lived there most of my childhood.
But this is the point I'm trying to make, and I'm not making it very well. The city of Jacksonville itself is inland and it's on the river, but the city limits extend out to the ocean, right?
Yeah, like the city itself is not oceanfront, but
Right.
it's not like Jacksonville is beachfront. And it extends through Ponte Vedra, where there's a stop on the PGA Tour.
I think the PGA headquarters.
Correct.
In Jacksonville.
Ponte Vedra, yeah.
I had a great aunt and uncle who lived in Ponte Vedra. Yeah, there we go. All right, yeah, you're right. It is oceanfront, but not the city itself. It's
Although it's not it is very typical Florida beach, but like you go to Jack's Beach and it's like people walking around with their pet pythons and stuff.
I think I can take a pass on that. Being the beach and pythons, out on pythons. Yesterday on Zolak and Bertrand, rats
I
or
listened to
snakes.
this.
What's your take?
I love snakes.
Wow. All right. I don't quite know how to respond to that, but yeah. Yeah, I too would pick snakes in this scenario.
Snakes don't bother me.
Give me all the snakes.
Well, my question would be, is it a poisonous snake or non-poisonous snake? Because if I'm dealing with a water moccasin, I'm taking the rats.
See, I think I was working under the assumption that it's a non-poisonous, like, garter snake. Is it garter or garden snake?
It's garden.
Garden snake.
But then they just give you like a little kiss if they bite you. It's just like
it's fine.
It's just like a little love tap.
A garter is something completely different.
Yes.
Wait, no, it's a garter snake.
I thought it was gardener.
Garter
It's
with
a
a T.
Garter.
Garter. Okay.
Are garter snakes good to have around your house?
Yes, they are.
They're relatively harmless and they'll take care of it. So I agree. Like, rats, strong out on rats.
They're very intelligent too, rats. So that's why I'm out on
I've
them.
heard they make really good pets.
I've heard that as well. Out on that.
You're ordering some rats with your shrimp over there?
No, I'm
Kendra?
actually about to be a shrimp parent. I ordered 40 of them.
40 shrimp.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with 40 shrimp?
I'm putting them in my living room
For what?
with like a red light.
So you're just going to, like, look at the shrimp?
Yeah. They basically take care of themselves. They eat everything and they clean their own tank.
I mean, honestly, I'm all for any type of pet that takes care of itself.
That's what I'm saying.
I can't even take care of myself. I can't take care of something else. I'll tell
I
you
can't
that.
have 40 cats. I might as well have 40 shrimp.
Fair. But still, shrimp, I'd just be too tempted to eat them.
Also, imagine me going out to a bar and spitting game and being like, yeah, baby, you want to come back to my place? I got 40 pet shrimp.
Honestly, it's not a bad pickup line. You're
Thank you.
It's a good conversation starter.
It
Pickup
is.
line, I don't know if I'd go that far, but it's a good conversation starter.
Well, you're like, what is the deal with this chick? She's kind of got to be a little bit tapped, but I want to find out about these shrimp,
I'm
right?
definitely nuts. I'd be like in a Reggie Nelson jersey spitting game about my shrimp.
I'd be like, let's go. Let's find out about these shrimp.
And then you just get home and it's me eating a grilled cheese on my couch with Jackson. I'm like, nothing's going on. I'm just like, hey, you want to hang out? You know what?
Watch
You're going to
the
watch
shrimp.
Formula One at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then we're going to snuggle and you're going to go home.
You're just going to go look at the shrimp. I wasn't lying. There are shrimp in there. I invited you back to look at the shrimp. Why aren't you looking at them?
I am curious how many are going to actually show up alive, which is why I ordered 40.
Yeah, you're just playing the numbers game.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
see that. Yeah, no, smart. I mean, really, if I were ordering shrimp, you'd want more.
My mom's coming to visit this week, and she's just going to be like, what in the world?
See, this is the problem with you and your society, Kendra. It's like the instant gratification. We can joke about shrimp, and you can go on Amazon and buy them, and now you're going to have shrimp in your house.
Yeah, I'm going to buy a snail, too.
So, like, again, I would have to get in my car to go out to the pet store to do that, Mr. Brick and Mortar over here. This prevents me from doing stupid things.
Yeah, well...
And I'm not saying that your shrimp thing is stupid.
I am stupid.
I'm not saying that you're stupid. I'm just saying, like, there would be impulse buys that I would make.
I only
know
have
I
one
would.
pet. I'm doing pretty okay. My musing is that people are trying to make Blake Lively seem like a mean girl, and I don't think that that's the case.
Please do explain.
So Blake Lively's new movie came out, and do I agree with the conversation surrounding that she missed the point of it at the premiere? Yes, but now people have been dragging Blake Lively all over the internet. They're making rumors about her and Taylor Swift and how Taylor is encouraging all of her other friends, but not Blake, and how Blake's actually like a miserable person to work with and blah, blah, blah. I just don't see Ryan Reynolds being married to someone that's miserable. And this one instance of her having a bad moment in the 20 plus years that she's been in the industry, I don't think we need to drag her or cancel her for it. It, to me, gives the energy of, you pulling up a tweet from someone 15 years ago when they were in middle school, when something was kosher or not kosher or questionably kosher or whatever. And now it's not. I think that that's the mean girl energy, not Blake.
So I would agree with just about everything you said there. Just don't ever underestimate people's ability or unwillingness for whatever it may be to get out of a situation with somebody who is miserable.
Yeah.
Don't underrate. So, but everything else there, I think you said is spot on.
Yeah. So
but
that's
why would Ryan Reynolds do it? I don't know. Ryan Reynolds. Maybe he's just one of those people who's consistently unhappy in relationships and is surrounded by people who are unhappy.
And
who knows?
I'm biased. She's in my favorite movie of all time, so I have to like her.
Which movie?
Accepted.
I've never seen Accepted.
Oh my God. Skaz, have you seen that movie?
Of course.
Ask
Bartleby
me about
Gaines.
my wiener.
Bartleby Gaines.
Oh my God.
How have I not seen Accepted? It came out in 2006.
Jonah Hill,
A
Blake
very,
Lively,
very young Jonah Hill.
Justin Long's in that movie. It's a great movie, McCarthy.
This is up my alley. I mean, this is my generation,
It's
right?
my favorite movie ever.
The South Harmon Institute of Technology.
The sandwiches.
Yeah, the sandwiches.
All right. Yeah, check that out. There we go.
That one, it
That can
holds
be
up,
your
too.
edible moment, McCarthy.
Sure. Kendra wants to make me edibles,
I'm going to make him a banana bread edible.
and I'm going to pound
In on that.
You want some?
I would love some.
Cool. I'll bring. Can I get? Is that legal?
In this state, yeah, why
Yeah,
not?
sure.
Right?
This is in Florida.
Is the FCC gonna?
We're in the
come for me?
safe. We're in the safe
FCC
harbor.
won't let me be.
So let me be me. They try to shut me down on MTV. Did Kendra and I just have our first we both understood our references moment?
Yeah. Wow.
Only took until 10:06. 10:06.
Wow, the bridging of the gap here.
Wow.
Kendra, this has been fun. Thanks for coming
having
in.
me, guys.
Anytime. You are always welcome on the night
Oh,
show.
I'm legitimately a shrimp parent now.
Freaking weirdo. No other way to say it.
I'm doing a clopen, so I'll see you guys in the morning. I'm literally leaving
what?
a clopen, a close open. I'm here now. I'm coming back at 7 a.m.
I've never heard of that term.
You obviously didn't work in-
I've done it, but
Yeah,
I've
worked
done it
in
many
retail
times.
long enough.
A clopen. All
yeah.
right.
So I'm taking my wallet, my keys, and I'm leaving everything else.
All right. Wait, you brought your wallet in? I thought you didn't need that.
Only because we have a scanner.
Ah.
We have key cards to get in and out.
You can't get in with cash.
And I
here.
can't do 3 hours without chapstick. And yes, I keep my chapstick in my wallet.
Who among us? Who among us? Kendra, it's been fun. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, boys.
90 seconds or less, then. No commercials, then right back to you.
WBZ FM and HD Boston. We've got the Patriots covered.
Back in the home. He's in trouble. A sack.
It's an all-new season for the Pats, and you'll hear it all right here. 98.5, the Sports Hub, the Beasley Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines.
Yeah, not good for the Red Sox tonight. They lost 12-2. Brian Bayo gave up 5 runs. Josh Winkowski took a beating for the bullpen. Gave up 6 more. Sox back at it again tomorrow. Zach Gallen on the mound for the Diamondbacks. Elsewhere around baseball, let's get the updated scores in the wild card race. Royals 7-2 lead over the Phillies in the bottom of the 6th. Twins trailing the Cardinals 4-1, so some split news for the Red Sox there. NFL today suspending J.C. Jackson 1 game for violating the league's personal conduct policy. He's currently a free agent. Patriots are back on the practice field as they get ready for Washington on Sunday. You can find full coverage at 98.5thesportshub.com. Headlines are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Matt McCarthy. I'm Boston's Home for Sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update, 30 minutes.
This is Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown turns the corner. Finger roll is up and good. Scoring in the foul.
Listen to home of the Boston Celtics. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
There's Skaz. I apologize to you and all the people.
Grammar, not a thing on the night show.
Are you suggesting that Joe Murray is not Mr. Grammar?
I would suggest that. I think as a whole, the night show, myself included, not big on grammar.
I mean, there's a reason why all of us are doing what we do, Skaz. I was told there would be no math. I was really told there would be nothing to do with any form of intellectual discussion or conversation. That's why we're here. So we can get to you in any of your thoughts at 617-779-0985. A good opportunity to jump into the Red Sox, I suppose. I mean, the game's over, so that's a good opportunity, right? That didn't go well, Skaz. Didn't like that.
No, the Brian Bayo experience, not going well. Pretty, and we mentioned it earlier, but biggest disappointment for the Sox this year, and it's just him. It's him. And the pitching, I mean, they've gotten great starts, and the bullpen will let them down, then the starters let them down. It's a vicious cycle with the Red Sox right now.
This is as disappointing a loss as I've experienced. Like, it's one of the bigger letdown losses of the year. It's not one of the worst losses of the year because, those are the games where, how many games in Los Angeles in July after the All-Star break with the bullpen, the Monday night game in Houston, you name it. I mean, there have been, there are bad losses. That's what's going to happen in a baseball season. This is a real letdown loss. You come home after 2 huge wins over the Astros. Beo's on the mound, and, Skaz, he's pitched well lately. He has. It looked like he was starting to turn things around. Walking too many guys, but he's been more competitive lately, and from Jump Street tonight, it was bad. I mean, he opened up the first inning, and the first 4 guys reached. It was not good. Let's go through this first inning. Corbin Carroll, singles. Jake McCarthy, cousin Jake, singles. Jock Peterson, walks. Josh Bell, walks. 2 singles, 2 walks. Beo walks in a run. You almost get a double play at the plate. Jansen can't hold on. But you somehow get out of the inning. It's 2-1. You're kind of fighting. You're in it. You strand the bases loaded at one point in this game. I think Ref Snyder was at the plate when that happened. You're in it. And then Beo runs into a little bit more trouble, and here comes Rodriguez, and here comes Winkowski, and the game's over. And the bullpen, just gets beaten to shreds tonight, torn to shreds. Winkowski ate it for the team, which is good, to save everybody else. But he gave up 6 runs on 8 hits. Is that bad? Josh Winkowski. What a bum that guy is. Bum's bum. Oh, the pride of the Benintendi deal, though. Thanks for that one, Heim. Appreciate it. Real letdown for the Red Sox tonight. And if you're driving home, this is the first place in the city to talk about him. 617-779-0985. Arizona's hot. They're probably the hottest team in baseball. It's not them. It's the Astros, who you took 2 out of 3 from. So you're feeling good. You come home. But as they say, momentum in baseball is only good as your next day's starting pitcher. And Brian Beo was not good enough tonight. And this team is not good enough at home. A .468 winning percentage at home this season. The Red Sox, terrible at home. And by the way, they've been terrible at home for multiple years now. This is a problem. I remember back in the Theo Epstein era in particular, he used to say, we build our team for Fenway Park. Like they were built to win games at Fenway Park. They cleaned up at home. I don't know if they're building this roster for Fenway Park. And I think they've gotten away from that in recent years. And listen, one of the reasons they've struggled at home is they just haven't been good enough. But even in the years where they have been better, this year, 2021, and I'd have to go back and look and see how they did at home that year. But this year in particular, how can you be in the playoff race? And they are, legitimately in the playoff race. How can you be in the playoff race and be this bad at home? It's astonishing to me. It really is.
2021, they were 49-32 at home.
Yeah, that's exactly what you need to be. That's what the Red Sox should always be. Fenway Park in particular gives you one of the great home field advantages in all of sports. And I'm not just talking about, the crowd. This is one of the things about baseball too, is, every ballpark is different. And if you have a unique ballpark like Fenway, and it's the most unique in baseball, you should be able to build your team to the dimensions of the ballpark. You should have left-handed hitters who go the other way. And, Yoshida does that. And Devers has the ability to do that. But you should have left-handed hitters who go the other way and right-handed hitters who can pepper that wall. Everything needs to be going to the wall, going to the wall, going to the wall. And I don't know if there's enough of that on this team.
This season, to this point, they're 29-32 at home. So they've already matched their losses at home since 2021.
That's as bad as it gets. We'll talk about reasons why they won't make the playoffs. Bullpen, yeah. Pitching, yeah. Their play at home, brutal. Just brutal. You think about it. I'm just thinking how you build good baseball teams at Fenway Park. The Red Sox, again, for years, for 60 years, whatever it is, always had one of the best power hitting left-handed, left fielders in baseball. Why? in part because you can hide a hitter in left field at Fenway Park. Just teach him how to play the wall. Manny Ramirez was a terrible fielder. Guy knew how to play the wall. You could teach him that. Basically played shortstop where he positioned himself. Why? Because he knew it at Fenway Park. Now, I mean, there were a million dumb and brutal moments of him in the field, but it didn't matter. Guy was hitting 45 bombs a year, driving in $130. Because you can hide him. You can hide him in left field. Ramirez played right in Cleveland. People forget that. He was a right fielder in Cleveland. Came here, you move him to left. Makes sense. You build your team for Fenway. And there isn't enough of that. But still, even so, for the Red Sox to be well over 500 and to be under 500 at home, that's crazy. Crazy to me. So we'll get more into the Red Sox and anything you want at 617-779-0985. We continue. It's McCarthy in for Joe here on the Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. More Joe Murray.
I feel bad. Thanks for Joe Murray from McCarthy. How you doing? I haven't been as involved in the YouTube chat as I normally am or would like to be. But we also had Kendra here for 2 hours, so it's like you have another human being in the studio with you. I guess I can't focus on the human beings here. Now I just get to direct my attention right at Skaz. I feel like I neglected you and the people tonight, Skaz.
Just you and me now. No, the people have been good for a Friday night YouTube, bumping, basically. So, yeah, good night.
I think that's all me, definitely. Has nothing to do with Kendra.
The people want to see McCarthy.
I mean, why wouldn't you? Come on. I mean, I am. Everything about me is impressive. I think everybody would agree with that. Undeniably. There'll be no pushback on that in the YouTube chat.
Much more impressive than the Red Sox tonight, I'll tell you that.
Not great. No, they weren't good. I didn't like that. I guess I feel a little bit better about my nail in the coffin take. Swing game. Gallen goes tomorrow. Kelly goes Sunday. Bayo had been pitching better, and so you get that. You get that stinker tonight.
Now, I'm not as tuned in as I was last year, but Zach Gallen was arguably the best pitcher in baseball last year. Is he doing that again this year?
No, he's not the best pitcher in baseball this year, but I mean, he's got a 3.85 ERA. I mean,
he's good.
You want me to find you any more advanced metrics? Milliken.
No, ERA is. You know what, Matt? I'm good with ERA. ERA, pretty good indicator.
Speaking my language. So wait, what are the average number of runs he gives up over 9?
No, I can handle that. I don't need his BAPIP or
his FIP?
Anything like that.
No, I mean, you start talking FIP to me, I react like Felger. It's like, huh? What? Fielding independent pitching.
Take acronyms out of baseball, please.
I mean, really, that was when Milliken starts talking about all of his stats. I'm impressed. I mean, he says it confidently. He knows all this stuff. It really is like when Kendra drops her knowledge on me. You know, it's like when he starts talking her lingo. What were some of the things she said tonight that I was like, huh? Well, I don't know.
Bonk.
Yep.
There was another one.
Now, it turns out that bonk is a term they used to say you're getting too horny on me right
now. Yeah, simmer down.
Simmer down there, guy. Stop talking about peanut butter.
Yes, exactly.
So I got bonked.
We've all been bonked at a time.
One would hope. You're missing out. Most of the time. You're missing out. Well, that's the way it goes. Bonk, okay, I know that one. A clopen? Is that what you said?
Yeah, close open, yes.
I guess that's a retail term. I've done many a clopen in radio, in my travels in radio. Back when I was working on the Cape Skaz, again, heroic effort, young Matt McCarthy, work until midnight on the Adam Jones show, and then I'd show up in Hyannis for 3 a.m. and do a morning radio shift. Talking about news, talking about your latest select board meeting in Sandwich or whatever the hell we were talking about. Did that for 6 years, man.
Not going to lie to you, Matt, that sounds pretty awful.
It's not great. Not great for not a lot of money. Oh, what was I thinking? Jesus.
At least gas wasn't so expensive then, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean, there were moments. Gas goes up and down. The economy, Skaz, it goes up and down. How does the economy work? Kendra did say the economy
617-779.
Yeah, no, he explained this to me. I just got into stock market recently. You tell me, how does the economy work? 617-779-0985. Actually, you won't have to be able to, you won't need to ask me about that. You can go to our new sister station, September 3rd, Bloomberg Radio, 92.9.
They'll handle all that for you, so we don't have to.
They actually, I'm not lying about this. I think Bloomberg Radio does an excellent job. I've been listening to it a little bit. I'm kind of getting interested in this stuff. Stock market, you name it. If you're into business stuff, you're going to like it. You're going to like that product. Yeah, Joe Matthew on in the midday, 12 to 2, and does this intersection of Washington stuff and finances. It's good. It's a good product. I like it. I think I hate to see rock stations going. Don't get me wrong. I hate to see rock stations going. Adam 12, my guy. Freaking love Adam 12. I like talk content. Talk content, good. Good in 2024. Because radio, I don't know if you've heard, Skaz. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this. Hasn't been a particularly great week for our industry, huh? not so great. Some changes. People losing their jobs. It's brutal, man. It sucks. What have we done? What? That's been a common refrain this week. You just shake your head. It's like, what? What are we doing? Why are we in this business? He couldn't have gone into finance. Guys, HR somewhere, anything.
No, thanks.
You've worked like a number of jobs.
Yeah. I've worked retail, customer service. I've worked golf courses. I've worked in science laboratories, believe it or not. I've worked construction.
Guys, I love you. I don't believe
you
that.
Shouldn't, but I wore a white coat and everying. Yeah, so I've
Wait a minute. You wore a white coat?
Yeah, we had to, yeah. Like a white, yeah.
Did you look very official?
No, I had like shorts and a t-shirt on underneath. Like, wasn't that serious, but yes, I've done it all, and that's why I'm here, Matt. Yeah. That's why I'm here.
Trust me, we're glad you're here. Nobody better. No joke about that, guys. You are primo.
We like to have fun at night.
Yes. Isn't that what it should be? Shouldn't we do fun? Isn't that what this is ultimately supposed to be? Entertainment. Come in here, have a good time. Let's not take ourselves too seriously about this. We're talking sports. Many times we're not. I mean, I've listened to the shows, guys. You know, sometimes, I don't know if you know this, sometimes you actually don't talk sports at night.
I am aware. As you know, we mix them in. Everyone, I would say we are sports until about 8:50 most nights, and then after that, with Bruins and Celtics on the way, you'll be getting a heavy dose more of sports. But yeah, in the summertime, you're not getting sports for 4 hours a night.
Nobody better than Joe. Nobody better than Joe at doing slice of life. Let's talk about what happened today.
Oh.
That's me with peanut butter. So we found out. I have a peanut butter fetish.
Oh.
How could you not? Peanut butter? Everything. You know, I found out today that Milliken is allergic to peanut butter and to chocolate.
I think I knew that, but it's a shocking revelation when you find out.
I mean, it's terrible. You're like, how do you live? How do you go through life? I was walking down. We have a candy bowl here, Skaz, to which I have spent many moments at this evening. Many trips down to the candy bowl. So I'm walking past Milliken. He's like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going to the candy bowl. He's like, not a big candy guy. To which I said, really? Which, really, I mean, when you think about it, kind of a dick comment. I was surprised. A lot of surprise there. I said, you're not a candy guy? Huh?
No, Milliken as a child wasn't eating candy, but he was covering pieces of bread in salt and rolling it up into little balls and eating that. So
wait a minute, He did that?
I believe some story I missed along the way, but that was the antithesis of it, I guess. That's what I learned, yeah.
This tracks.
Milliken, some odd eating habits as a child that probably stay to this day.
I don't think, I mean, everything about the man is odd, yet oddly fascinating.
And endearing. Somehow he's very endearing.
The most endearing person of all time. I've told this story multiple times to Milliken, and I've told him who it is. Believe it or not, I do have a very attractive friend, which is surprising, right? I mean, I'm in radio for a reason. Let's call it what it is. But I do know somebody who's very attractive, and she is a female. She is fascinated by Tyler Milliken. Like, legit has the hots for Tyler Milliken.
She's not alone.
She's like, I just find him so interesting.
The Milliken militia is out there.
Like, yeah, I do too.
A ravenous bunch.
I very much enjoy them. Even though we were at war for, a number of years. But now Milliken and I have our Red Sox opinions. They've kind of moderated. We've kind of met in the middle on this. It's kind of where you want everything to be, just like in the middle. Milliken has actually been kind of negative on the Sox this year. Believe it or not, I've been positive until about the last week.
And it was an odd program the other day listening to Positive Maz on the Red Sox.
It made me very uncomfortable.
I don't know if they're still going to be positive when we get to Monday.
Massive weekend for them. They got to win the next two. Have to win the next two. I said this tonight on the Baseball Hour. I will take the nail out if they go 2 out of 3 this weekend and the bullpen looks good. Well, so far, Brian Bayo got his face kicked off. Josh Winkowski was a sacrificial lamb, gave up 6 runs tonight, and they lost 12-2. And, Well, you're going to fall behind Kansas City. Let's get we'll get the latest updates here momentarily in the headlines. You're probably going to fall behind Kansas City by 4.5 games. Might get some better news with Minnesota. But they got to win the next two. A big weekend series for the Sox, and it did not start out well with Zach Gallen going tomorrow. 617-779-0985. There's something going on tonight that I do need to address. Something out there in the world. I think it's tonight. Yeah, we'll find out. I'll confirm during the break because I'm prepared and professional, Skaz. Always. And we got room for you. 617-779-0985. We'll do that next.
Sports Hub headlines.
Brian Bayo gave up 5 runs on 7 hits and 5 1/3, walked 4, and the Red Sox lost to Arizona 12-2 tonight. Josh Winkowski, not good. Not good. 6 runs, 8 hits, 3 innings. Sox back at it tomorrow. Game 2 of the series, Zach Gallen on the mound for Arizona. Elsewhere tonight in the wild card race, Kansas City out to a 7-2 lead on the Phillies in the top of the 8th. The good news for Boston, St. Louis leading Minnesota 4-1, top of the 8th in that game there. Patriots are back.
Everybody knows Joe.
Just keeps getting better.
Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Big night around these parts. I don't know if you knew this. Big night for a bunch of 28-year-old folks from Woburn who think they're so country. Kenny Chesney's here. Yep.
I'm very, very glad you just said that because that will impact how I drive home tonight.
Yep. Well, I mean, it's not going to be an issue for you, right?
Yeah.
95? I mean, I do it all the time after concerts.
Yeah, it's just sometimes it can be. I went by last night. I didn't realize that Xfinity. I think Creed might have been at Xfinity last night.
2 nights ago.
Two nights. Yes.
I missed Creed because I was at Pink the other night.
Oh, there you go.
Excellent show, by the way.
But yeah, I luckily I was going the other way, but just dead stop traffic right there, Mansfield. So I almost got caught in that. But yeah, I will be heading the other way tonight, just in case. Not taking any risks.
3 nights, Gillette Stadium. Man, there are a lot of 32-year-old gals from Walpole who think they're so country who are there tonight.
Is Tim McCone there?
Oh, Tim McCone and a bunch of
confirmed Tim McCone in the building.
I'm assuming McCone's there. One of the 3 nights, of course McCone's there.
He's got to be there.
I mean, like Tim McCone, so country. You're from Worcester? Worcester is not the country. Just because you wear a cowboy hat does not make you country. This is Boston. For the love of God. Where was I recently? And I was driving through and like this. I'm trying to remember where I was. It was like this. This is the country.
I was in Wisconsin not too long ago.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. No, that's... Skaz, I've been there multiple times in Wisconsin.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Not bad.
Not a lot going on, though.
There are worse places. There are better places. There are definitely better places, but there are worse places. And you go out there, you go about 45 minutes north of Milwaukee. I dated a girl from Wisconsin once. Best way to describe it. So you get off the interstate, and you get on a county road to go 17 miles to her hometown. And the first thing, swear to God, Skaz, on my grandmother's grave, first thing I see is a cow doing another cow right up against the fence. I'm like, this is not...
Welcome to Wisconsin.
I am not in Braintree anymore. This is not Waltham. Nope, they're just a cow going after another cow. Well, kids, that's how that works. So I hope everybody had a great time. And just remember that just because you wore cowboy boots tonight does not make you country. Dover is not the country. It's not. Wellesley, Winchester, not the country. Framingham, not the country. Nowhere around here, the country. Oh, but I grew up in Worcester County. Not the country. Nope. Sorry. Do some traveling. You'll see real country and be like, this place sucks. I don't want to sing about this. Why are they talking about it like it's so good? Because it's not. A little life lesson for you. What's this on Bill Belichick? Are you going to be a Hall of Famer, Skaz? Is it these new rules?
Yeah, so I had this thought during your latest headline, because you've mentioned this throughout the night, that the NFL Hall of Fame has changed the rule for coaches to get into the Hall of Fame, making Bill Belichick eligible next year if he doesn't return to coaching. Now, I still believe that Bill Belichick is most likely going to return to coaching, but I do think this poses a potentially very kind of funny thing that could happen, and that could be that Bill Belichick would enter the Hall of Fame before Robert Kraft.
Oh, that's good.
And if you're a football fan, you'd probably say, well, yeah, Belichick should be no-brainer, no doubt. Yeah, absolutely. Kraft has been petitioning, though, for years to try and finally get into the Hall of Fame, and he's been really petitioning the last couple years. So just imagining Bill getting in before Mr. Kraft, I can imagine that would hurt. That would hurt him a little bit. And then there's also the funny added thing that what if they get in the same year?
Oh,
I would
have to
love
stand
that.
next to each other.
Yes,
Yeah.
that would also be great theater. So, an announcement that I really didn't think twice about when it happened earlier today. Now I'm pretty intrigued by it.
It's fascinating. You're right. That would definitely crawl up Robert's backside. How could it not? Thinking, for years that he was going to get in before Bill. And listen, I mean, it's not like, Bill's going to get in. And listen, Robert should be in too. He should. If you're going to put, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, I hate to break it to you, everybody gets in. It's kind of the way it is. So, of course Robert should be in there. If we're putting owners in the Hall of Fame, Robert should be in there. Should be in there. Jerry Jones is in, right?
I would imagine so. I don't know for sure, but I'd imagine so.
I think he is. Which is a joke. Jerry Jones is not. Yeah, Jerry Jones was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2017. Which, by the way, isn't this kind of where the Robert Kraft Hall of Fame stuff began?
Yeah, I think that probably.
That
irked him.
If you're letting Jerry in, who is not a good owner. Jerry's not a good owner. Robert Kraft has been for the majority of his time here. We can question his job performance as owner over the last few years. I think we should question it. He chose wrong. He chose Belichick over Brady. It was a bad choice and, will be a part of the, when you write the story on Robert Kraft's career as owner of the Patriots, that will be a part of the story. Bought the team 1994, a fan of the team, saved the team from moving to New England. Bill Parcells hired Bill Belichick, traded a first-round draft pick, presided over the greatest dynasty in the history, was the owner of the team that ultimately ended up being the greatest dynasty in the history of sports. Then chose wrong. Picked Brady over Belichick. Couldn't keep it together. When he had to choose, he chose wrong. Sent the franchise into a tailspin. It's not the first paragraph, but is it the fifth? It's a part of the story. But of course he should be in the Hall of Fame. And if Jerry Jones is in, for the love of God, Robert Kraft. I guess the thing that interests me about Belichick is he could be inducted to the Hall of Fame as he's returning to coaching.
Yeah, they'd push it. They'd have to push it back, right? Your eligibility resets or whatever.
Well, haven't there been active Hall of Famers who have come back in certain...
I would imagine Joe Gibbs probably. I don't know if but off the top of my head, Joe Gibbs feels like one that would have to be. I'm trying to maybe Parcells.
Joe Gibbs was inducted in 1996. Yes. And I think Parcells too. 2013. So Parcells was done. Parcells has been out for 15 years at this point.
I know, because he did the Dolphins thing for a little while, sat in their front office.
He only did that for 2 years.
Yeah.
I remember I was reading, Parcells was the head coach of the Cowboys in 2006. And I was like, 2006? Dude, that's almost 20 years ago, man.
Me and Joe had this conversation the other night because Bill Parcells talked this week.
Yeah, it was good. Good piece by Dan Shaughnessy in the Globe.
But do you remember any Bill Parcells articles when Bill was in charge? Do you remember Bill Parcells giving his thoughts on the Patriots when Belichick was here?
No. Do you think that was out of respect to Bill? In some way?
Yeah, I do. And I just think it's funny that he's doing it now. The shield is gone. These guys aren't afraid to, there's no relationship people like Parcells. We're getting a ton of Bledsoe stuff now talking. So I just thought that was an interesting little thing that never heard anything from Parcells while Bill was here. Bill's gone. We're getting some Parcells sound on the Patriots.
Good points, Gaz. Very interesting. Yeah, the old guard, gone. Parcells, Belichick, Carroll.
Seems like the shine's coming off a little bit.
A little bit. A little bit.
That was being
Gaz.
nice.
The shine. You have to shine that puppy right up. Go get your shine box. They don't shine shoes no more. Nobody went up there and told you. Wrap this thing up next.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub. Felger and Maz are just his pregame.
They've been getting wholesale deals for years.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hall.
You know what I'm realizing? I was just thinking, I love doing the night show. It's great being in Skaz. It's always fun. I'm in next Friday. Are you in next Friday, Skaz, leading into Labor Day?
I will be here.
Isn't that the night that Joe normally does the songs of the summer?
We've done some already, but we have some. Sabrina Carpenter, I think you would know.
Not as much as Kendra would give me credit for knowing, yes.
But you're aware.
I know of her, yes.
Shabuzi, we did.
Huh?
Yes, Shabuzi. Tipsy is his song.
Okay.
You've probably heard it before.
Wait, is that the Everybody at the Bar Get Tipsy?
Yes.
Isn't that was a song we played in college?
No, different. It's similar but different.
But now we've got like the country version of it because everything needs to be countrified.
Yes, and then the last one was a country song by someone named Kane Brown.
Oh, God.
That Joe did.
I'd rather light myself on fire.
Hey, if you want to do a McCarthy song of the summer on next Friday night, I'm here for it.
The problem is, Taylor hasn't really released anything. I mean, she did in April, but
McCarthy.
It wasn't a great. Let's be honest, it wasn't a great album.
This is something that I didn't want to get into tonight, but you brought up Taylor Swift. What is this with her releasing like a new version of a song or a new version of her albums like every week, and other pop stars and stuff are getting upset that they think it's like she's trying to keep other people off the charts. Do you not buy into that conspiracy?
Oh, no, I buy into it totally.
See, that's why you're a true Taylor fan, because you can see through the minutia.
Yeah, no, I acknowledge her flaws, and she's a piece of work. There's no doubt about it. But let's also acknowledge that she's, literally the greatest musical act on planet Earth right now. Like, both of those things can be true, right? She is. Let's just call it what it is. But yeah, no, she's a piece of work.
A little power hungry, maybe.
Yeah. But that's what makes her her. She will feast on your soul for dinner. This is, and the whole like Taylor's version is because somebody she didn't like bought her record company or whatever, and there was an issue there, and she's like, oh, you own my songs? Never mind. I'll destroy you. I'll re-record all my songs, make $1 gazillion, and it will be replaced on everything, and you'll never get royalties for my stuff ever again. Screw you. I will ruin your life. I will send my fans, out to get you, and you will be made to be miserable until the day you die because you dared oppose me in any way. It is everything she does is boss. I will say she and Brady are kind of like the same. They're the same level.
You've made this comparison before, and I kind of buy in.
Brady essentially made enemies for himself so he could feast on their souls. And that's what Taylor Swift has done. She feasts on souls. Otherwise, her power can't keep growing if she doesn't have new flesh and soul to feed on. That's how she works. Speaking of quarterbacks, how about this comment? Jaguars coach Doug Peterson. Everybody's talking about Mac Jones. He's having a great preseason. Doug Peterson, quote, Mac has played extremely well in the last couple of weeks and has really bought into what we do. He'll still revert back to his Patriot ways every now and then. Unquote. They're having to beat the Patriot out of him, Skaz? Is that the way I should take that?
That is a jarring quote to read as a Patriots fan.
Doug Peterson.
And no offense to Kendra Middleton, but the fact that the Jacksonville Jaguars are having to beat the Patriots out of Mac Jones.
Not a good thing.
That's terrifying.
How the mighty have fallen. You're right, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville Jaguars, greater than and a better organization than the New England Patriots. Now, I would say if they're expecting Mac Jones to keep this up, eventually he's going to face some level of adversity, and he's going to melt down like the petulant child that he is. So I would not look into any of this. Like, congratulations. A guy who started 3 seasons in the NFL looks good in preseason against a bunch of guys who will not be playing in the NFL.
A Pro Bowler.
You're not technically wrong. That's a fact. I can't argue against anything you just said there, Skaz. Fact, not opinion. Pro Bowl quarterback, Mac Jones. It is what it is.